This item was clearly one of the sect master's trump cards. After just one exchange, Jiang Chengxuan had already forced him into such a desperate situation, highlighting the vast difference in their strengths. Today we admit defeat, retreat. Without any hesitation, the sect master immediately conceded. His eyes filled with uncertainty, he turned into a streak of golden light and fled. Following his lead, countless elders of the Shengyuan immortal sect scrambled to escape, dispersing like birds and beasts. The disciples of the Shengyuan immortal sect, seeing the situation turn unfavorable, shouted for a retreat and withdrew like a receding tide. However, with the signal from the elders of the rogue cultivator alliance, countless disciples seized the opportunity to strike the retreating forces, slaying the enemy as they pursued. Jiang Chengxuan did not intend to pursue them aggressively. After all, having just arrived in the Xianxia immortal domain, it was unwise to make enemies so hastily and attract undue attention. Husband, follow me. With a sweet and affectionate smile, Shen Ruyan took Jiang Chengxuan's hand and led him to the stunned elders of the rogue cultivator alliance. Thank you for your righteous intervention, saving our rogue cultivator alliance from disaster. We are deeply grateful. The members of the rogue cultivator alliance reacted quickly, bowing to Jiang Chengxuan in gratitude. It was a small effort, nothing worth mentioning. Jiang Chengxuan, maintaining his humility, glanced around kindly and returned their salute. Su Lao, what's wrong? However, amidst this joyful moment, a sudden cry of urgency arose from the back of the rogue cultivator alliance, causing a commotion. The crowd quickly parted to reveal the elderly woman who had accompanied Shen Ruyan, sitting on the ground in pain, her aura unstable. She's been cursed. An elder with extensive knowledge immediately exclaimed. This revelation cast a shadow over everyone, filling them with dread, especially Shen Ruyan, whose joy at reuniting with her husband was now clouded by worry. Su Lao was one of her few close friends here. Seeing her in such a state was heart-wrenching. Before they could process the situation, another sudden change occurred. A mysterious wave of energy erupted among them. Turning towards the source, they saw an unfamiliar female cultivator in a long dress, exuding an extraordinary aura. Xiaxu. Brother Jiang, this. The female cultivator was none other than Feng Zhu, who had just rushed over. The unexpected turn of events left everyone bewildered. However, a flash of insight hit Jiang Chengxuan, and he quickly pieced it all together. Feng Zhu had mentioned that she carried a mysterious treasure since birth, a gift from her family, which would react upon meeting them. This sudden reaction from her treasure could only mean one thing: her relative was among the rogue cultivator alliance. Jiang Chengxuan introduced Feng Zhu to the rogue cultivator alliance members, explaining his deductions. This left everyone even more astonished, including Feng Zhu, who was in a state of disbelief. Could her long-lost relative really be here, at such an unexpected moment? Su Lao once mentioned having a child who was lost. Shen Ruyan's hesitant words revealed a shocking secret, hitting everyone like a bolt of lightning. My mother. Feng Zhu, reeling from the revelation, looked at the old woman's aged face, seeing the resemblance. The pain etched on Su Lao's face tore at her heart, filling her with sorrow. The anticipated reunion with her mother was now overshadowed by the fear of losing her to this curse. Everyone was left speechless, their expressions filled with sorrow. Su Lao was a respected elder in the rogue cultivator alliance, and seeing her suffer like this pained them deeply. Husband. Shen Ruyan, looking to Jiang Chengxuan for help, spoke softly. Understanding, Jiang Chengxuan nodded and addressed the crowd. Everyone step back. I have a way to break this curse. His words, filled with confidence, made everyone tremble with hope. They obediently moved aside, while Feng Zhu looked at him with deep gratitude and hope. Jiang Chengxuan gave her a reassuring nod before summoning a giant alchemy furnace with a flash of divine light. With a wave of his hand, the furnace ignited with celestial flames, displaying countless mystical visions. Focusing intently, Jiang Chengxuan produced various celestial herbs, each exuding an astonishing aura, and placed them into the furnace. Hum hum hum. The flames roared, refining the herbs into their purest essence, forming a divine concoction. Only then did everyone understand how he planned to break the curse. They gasped, realizing Jiang Chengxuan was not only a formidable true immortal, but also an esteemed alchemist. Such a combination of skills made him a revered figure, even within the Xianxia immortal domain. To the rogue cultivator alliance, He was nothing short of a divine savior. Even Feng Zhu, who had spent time with him, was surprised. Watching his serious expression, her anxious heart gradually calmed, trusting that he could handle any situation. Shen Ruyan smiled proudly at her husband, confident in his abilities. Boom! Under Jiang Chengxuan's precise control, the alchemical process proceeded swiftly. His true immortal power enhanced the refining, and soon, a celestial pill began to take shape within the furnace. Meanwhile, Su Lao, though in pain, showed no signs of deteriorating, giving everyone hope. Finally, Jiang Chengxuan's focus reached its peak. Alchemy complete. With a final incantation, the furnace roared, and a celestial pill, radiating divine light and emitting a tantalizing fragrance, flew out. The atmosphere turned celebratory as everyone watched the pill land in Jiang Chengxuan's hand. Xiaoxu, take this. Without hesitation, Jiang Chengxuan sent the pill soaring towards Feng Zhu, who caught it with teary eyes. She rushed to Su Lao's side, full of gratitude and urgency. At the entrance of the rogue cultivator alliance's mountain gate, everyone was holding their breath, waiting. Although Jiang Chengxuan's alchemical skills had already won over everyone present, they were all amateurs and didn't fully understand the profound intricacies of his methods. Therefore, doubts still lingered in their hearts about whether this elixir could truly break the curse afflicting Elder Su. With utmost care, Feng Zhu guided the elixir with her snow-white, delicate hands into Elder Su's mouth. As Feng Zhu channeled her celestial power to refine the elixir within Elder Su, strange ripples began to emanate from Su's body. A gentle yet immense force quickly filled her entire being, soothing her pain and halting her trembling. Excellent, this is wonderful. Elder Su is saved. This is truly a miracle. This friend's divine abilities are truly unfathomable. The cultivators of the Rogue Cultivator Alliance erupted in astonished murmurs, their faces filled with reverence and awe. Husband, it's all thanks to you. Beside Jiang Chengxuan, Shen Ruyan looked at him with deep affection, her stunning beauty radiant with joy. She spoke softly, her voice full of gratitude. It's nothing, as long as I am here. Jiang Chengxuan replied with a smile. After being separated for 10,000 years, their reunion felt like a honeymoon, full of newfound warmth and affection. I'm okay now. From within the depths of the elixir's power, Elder Su's aged voice slowly emerged, invigorating everyone's spirits. She stood up, looking around in bewilderment. The celestial elixir had not only dispelled her curse but also revitalized her, making her look several years younger. Elder Su, you're all right, all thanks to this celestial master. The alliance leader stepped forward, pointing to Jiang Chengxuan and recounting the events that had transpired. Elder Su, filled with gratitude, was about to bow deeply to Jiang Chengxuan, but the couple quickly stopped her. With the crisis averted, the atmosphere turned jubilant. Elder Su suddenly felt a tremor in her heart, as if sensing something significant. She turned around and precisely locked eyes with Feng Zhu, who was looking back at her with a complex expression. In Feng Zhu's hand, a mysterious artifact glowed softly. In that moment, time seemed to stand still. Elder Su, realizing what was happening, trembled and walked unsteadily towards Feng Zhu. My daughter, my daughter. Mother. As Elder Su's aged hand touched Feng Zhu's face, she broke down in tears, crying uncontrollably. Feng Zhu, too, embraced her mother tightly, tears streaming down her face. Under the gaze of everyone present, the long-lost mother and daughter had finally reunited in a heartwarming scene. That night outside Shen Ruyan's cave abode, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan sat side by side, leaning on each other and gazing at the starry sky. Holding hands tightly, they recounted the events of the past 10,000 years. Through Shen Ruyan's narration, Jiang Chengxuan learned about her experiences since arriving in the Xuanyuan immortal domain. After joining the Rogue Cultivator Alliance, she refined her skills in artifact crafting, firmly establishing her position. Through her crafting abilities, she exchanged for numerous opportunities, such as elixirs, celestial herbs, and even information about ancient ruins. This dual focus on artifact crafting and cultivation led to her rapid progress. Jiang Chengxuan, in turn, recounted his own journey over the past 10,000 years, from joining the Flying Immortal City Alchemy Alliance to entering the Wongxing Immortal Domain Alchemy Alliance, exploring the Water Sect ruins, battling sect cultivators, and slaying the ancient true dragon. Every tale made Shen Ruyan's eyes sparkle with wonder, her emotions fluctuating between worry and joy. Regardless of the hardships, Today they had finally reunited in this vast immortal domain, fulfilling a long-cherished dream. Their seemingly unreachable goal had been realized, filling them with profound emotions. For a while they sat in companionable silence, overwhelmed by their feelings. During this period, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan lived as celestial lovers in the rogue cultivator alliance, sharing their insights on the Tao and enjoying their time together. One day, their peaceful life was interrupted by Elder Su's arrival outside Shen Ruyan's cave abode. "Thank you so much, Chengxuan and Ruyan, for everything." As they walked out to greet her, they saw Elder Su and Feng Zhu approaching, both smiling warmly. Elder Su expressed her gratitude with a bow. "Please, it was nothing," Shen Ruyan replied with a smile. The four of them exchanged pleasantries before Elder Su got to the main reason for her visit. "For the life-saving grace you have shown me and the kindness towards Zuer, I would find it difficult to be at peace if I didn't repay you." Yang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan both felt their hearts tremble upon hearing this. Their eyes widened in surprise. "This..." For a moment, Shen Ruyan didn't know how to respond, simply looking at Elder Su in astonishment. "Please, do not refuse this old woman's goodwill," Elder Su continued, her expression serious. "This immortal's blessed land has existed for a long time and will inevitably reveal itself in due time. My daughter and I lack the cultivation to seize it. Rather than let others benefit, it's better to entrust it to you too." Feng Zhu immediately chimed in. "Yes, Brother Jiang, Elder Shen, if you don't accept I will also be troubled." Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan exchanged glances, their brows furrowed. After a moment of consideration, they solemnly nodded to the mother and daughter. "The secret of the immortal's blessed land is indeed significant. Even for me, it represents a great opportunity. Although it is such, I still feel unworthy. These elixirs will serve as my repayment. Please do not decline." With that, Jiang Chengxuan generously took out several high-grade elixirs and presented them to the pair, summoning a breeze to carry the glowing, radiant pills and jade bottles into their hands. This is too much." Elder Su hesitated. "Elder Su, please accept it," Shen Ruyan said softly. "Otherwise, we would feel guilty for accepting your kindness." Relenting, Elder Su nodded and began to recount the secret. The key to the immortal's blessed land lay within the mysterious artifact Feng Zhu had. It was the same artifact that had led to Feng Zhu being abandoned in the Wangxing immortal domain when Elder Su and her partner discovered it. This artifact had enabled their rise from mere mortals to celestial beings. Upon discovering more about the artifact, they learned about the immortal's blessed land. However, their possession of the artifact brought disaster. A mysterious force sought to steal it, leading to constant assassination attempts. Elder Su's partner died protecting her, and their newborn daughter, Feng Zhu, was sent away with the artifact for safety. This event shattered their family, and Elder Su had to hide her identity while Feng Zhu wandered alone until their recent reunion. Succeed or fail, all because of this artifact. Elder Su sighed, her expression a mix of nostalgia, relief, and acceptance. The events were so distant that she might have never revisited them if not for Feng Zhu's sudden reappearance. "Elder Su." Moved, Shen Ruyan held Elder Su's hand in comfort. Elder Su smiled and shook her head, signaling that there was no need to worry. "This is the artifact related to the immortal's blessed land." Feng Zhu solemnly took out a 9-colored mysterious stone. It was inscribed with ancient runes and emitted an aura reminiscent of primordial times. Even with Jiang Chengxuan's cultivation, he could sense countless changes occurring within it, hinting at the power of the primordial era. "What information does this artifact contain about the blessed land?" "There is a seal within the artifact that has been fluctuating recently. The information is likely hidden there." Feng Zhu handed the artifact to Jiang Chengxuan, who accepted it and carefully examined it. Channeling his divine sense into the 9-colored stone, he saw a primordial universe, with lands forming from chaotic explosions. Rules of creation emerged, birthing the cosmos. Suddenly, a primordial gate appeared, blocking further insight. Realizing the seal wasn't too powerful, Jiang Chengxuan activated the ancient runes with his celestial power. Soon, a mystical wave erupted, and the gate opened, releasing primordial energy and celestial light into his consciousness. A flood of information about the immortal's blessed land surged into Jiang Chengxuan's mind. After a while, he withdrew his consciousness and returned to the present. "How was it, husband?" Shen Ruyan asked with concern. Jiang Chengxuan smiled, returning the artifact to Fengzhu before explaining, "The information is indeed within. The blessed land was left by an ancient celestial being named Chuxuan. It wasn't created by him, but is a fragment from the beginning of the universe that fell into the Xianxia immortal domain, discovered by Chuxuan, who used it as a training ground. The nine-colored stone originated from there." Jiang Chengxuan's explanation answered everyone's questions. The mention of primordial forces left the three women in awe, their eyes shining with excitement. For Elder Su, this revelation solved the mystery that had shaped her life. After learning about the blessed land, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan began meticulous preparations, gathering elixirs and treasures. A few years later, without a sound, the two left the rogue cultivator alliance, heading toward a place called the Western Black Sea, on the western edge of the Xianxia immortal domain. The Western Black Sea was infamous for its danger, composed of a black ocean made from a mysterious liquid filled with countless erratic and malevolent Tao laws, birthing numerous strange and evil beings. Many cultivators had explored it, but few returned. It was said that at the sea's edge lay a void, with a waterfall leading to another world. Falling into this abyss meant being engulfed by the Black Sea, unable to escape, destined for reincarnation. Before setting out, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan had thoroughly investigated these tales, suspecting that the origins of the Western Black Sea were linked to the primordial fragment. Over an expanse of black ocean, two figures appeared in this desolate place. Bathed in celestial light, they stood like stars in the night. Beneath them, the strange Black Sea roiled like a writhing mountain range. Occasionally, grotesque creatures would emerge, resembling twisted limbs and shapeless masses, observing the two above before retreating into the Black Sea, stung by the celestial light. These two were none other than Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan, who had ventured to the Western Black Sea in search of the immortal's blessed land. After a long journey, they finally witnessed this eerie place firsthand. "The rules of this celestial domain are all distorted," Jiang Chengxuan remarked softly, looking down at the Black Sea. "In the Western Black Sea, all rules differed from those in the mortal world, affecting anyone who entered, regardless of their cultivation level. With your celestial expelling elixir, it should be manageable," Shen Ruyan replied with a slight smile. She took out a black and white elixir from her bosom. The moment it was in her hand, it emitted a radiant glow, dispelling much of the eerie power around them. This elixir was one of Jiang Chengxuan's preparations for the Western Black Sea, designed to ward off evil and maintain righteous energy. "Let's give it a try," Jiang Chengxuan nodded, swallowing the elixir without hesitation. Instantly, a righteous force spread throughout his body, forming a protective aura. The chaotic, distorted power around him was pushed back, creating a cleared area. Satisfied with the results, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan exchanged smiles and, relying on the elixir's power, transformed into streaks of light and plunged into the Western Black Sea. Immediately, their surroundings turned into a chaotic darkness filled with turbulent currents and countless strange eyes. It felt as if colossal monsters lurked in the unseen world, ready to devour intruders. But Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan were unfazed. Their celestial power remained contained as they resolutely advanced through the boundless darkness, cutting through it like two streaks of white light. Suddenly, a dense black mist surged, and with a roar, a gigantic monster emerged, its mouth wide enough to swallow 100 feet in width. It created a terrifying suction, pulling in the dark currents and aiming to engulf Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan. "HMPH," Jiang Chengxuan snorted coldly and struck back. He summoned the Five Elements universe map, transforming it into a golden dot, like a small golden fish in the Black Sea, swimming against the massive current. Hum! The next moment, the golden dot pierced the monster's head, releasing an infinite golden light that sliced through every dark current. This display of power exposed countless hidden monsters, causing them to panic and retreat into the depths. But the leading monster wasn't so lucky. Under the attack of the Jengjin Void Sword, it died instantly and sank silently to the bottom of the Western Black Sea. Without stopping, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan continued their journey, killing countless monstrous creatures along the way. They encountered no resistance as they proceeded through their path. Eventually, they reached their destination, having crossed numerous dark currents and left behind a trail of slain creatures. Before them was a pitch-black void, nearly devoid of dark currents, filled instead with a deathly stillness that clashed with the rest of the Western Black Sea. Standing there, Jiang Chengxuan pondered for a moment before unleashing his celestial power, stirring a torrent that cleared away the ancient sediment. Underneath, Ancient and enormous runes were revealed, similar to those on the 9-colored mysterious stone Feng Zhu held. "It's definitely here," Shen Ruyan exclaimed in delight. Jiang Chengxuan nodded, exhaling deeply. It seemed that the celestial being Chuxuan had left no restrictions to monopolize the opportunity. The place retained its original form, making it easier for Jiang Chengxuan to decipher the entrance. Under Shen Ruyan's protection, Jiang Chengxuan sat cross-legged in midair, using his heaven-calculating technique to decipher the mysteries of the place. Cloaked in the power of the celestial expelling elixir, celestial energy, and his divination power, he began his calculations. Jiang Chengxuan appeared like a celestial statue, occasionally emitting radiance, injecting his celestial power into the ancient runes beneath him. As more celestial power was infused, the ancient runes, resembling dead snakes, began to twist and writhe. They still lay on the ground but quickly connected, forming a large, unified shape with the head of the snake biting its tail. Buzz! Instantly, all the ancient runes merged into one. An incomparably mystical wave erupted, causing the shadows in the area to boil. An overwhelming and ancient aura descended, enveloping Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan. The two exchanged a glance and quickly moved to stand together. The next moment, the power of the ancient runes fully exploded, twisting the entire world as if turning it from the dark side to the bright side. The previously pitch-black world suddenly opened up, and Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan felt themselves drifting, like floating along with the waves. When they regained their clarity, they found themselves in an entirely new plane. The first thing they felt was the overwhelming, yet strange aura surrounding them. Next, they saw an endless expanse of starry illusions, layers upon layers of spatial dimensions, constructing the world before them. These were reflections of the universe, like sheer curtains veiling and obscuring everything, creating a dreamlike place, almost like a miniature universe. For a moment, gazing at such a magnificent scene, even the well-informed Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan couldn't help but marvel. "The level of power here is very high, extremely close to the power of the primeval," Jiang Chengxuan said slowly. "The power of the primeval is the most original force left from the dawn of the vast universe, the essence of this world." Jiang Chengxuan faintly sensed that this opportunity might help him find a breakthrough to the realm of Earth immortals, allowing him to create his own blessed land. "Husband, this place seems to have countless layers of worlds. Shen Ruyan looked ahead, feeling troubled. She could see that, while the Earth immortal blessed land was said to be in this realm, each step ahead was composed of countless projections of worlds, making it difficult to locate the true destination. "No matter, my dear. Let us first explore the paths within," Jiang Chengxuan replied, not planning to hesitate. The two exchanged a glance, nodded, and stepped forward into one of the projections. Instantly, ancient and vast auras projected onto them, brilliant and mystical. Their figures were immediately swallowed by that layer of projection. Boom, boom, boom. Thunder roared, and the sky was filled with rolling thunder. After passing through that layer of projection, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan found themselves in a world entirely submerged in lightning. Here, the celestial energy was violent, with countless types of lightning laws rampaging, filling every inch of space. Whether it was primordial divine thunder or thunder never seen by Shen Ruyan, all were dancing like silver dragons, roaring incessantly. "Be careful," Shen Ruyan immediately acted, manifesting her celestial body, and her lightning laws unfolded, summoning a sea of glowing celestial light around them. Boom, boom, boom. The most explosive thunders clashed, and the deafening booms continued. Shen Ruyan's eyes focused, and her celestial lightning spread wildly, suppressing the entire thunder-filled small world. Amid the earth-shattering tremors, energy turbulence created a towering storm. "It seems these multitudinous worlds are indeed not friendly," Jiang Chengxuan remarked seriously. The violent, thunderous realm before them already revealed some information. These multitudinous projection worlds were naturally occurring rather than man-made, suggesting many dangers and trials. After all, unaltered planes are inherently unsuitable for living. However, this did not instill fear in Jiang Chengxuan. The next moment, facing the overwhelming thunder in this world, he unleashed his full power without hesitation, showcasing his true immortal cultivation. The laws of the 5 elements, reincarnation and life and death appeared one after another, transforming into 3 great abysses, gathering true immortal power, tearing open the world and brutally striking out. Buzz! The entire world fell silent for a moment, and the thunder power was annihilated wherever the three great laws passed, turning into nothingness. For this small world, Jiang Chengxuan, who had comprehended the divine abilities of immortals, was an existence akin to a dimensional suppressor. Even Shen Ruyan retracted her power, realizing that her intervention wasn't needed. Roar! Suddenly, an explosive roar resounded through the heavens and earth. The remaining thunder, which Jiang Chengxuan had mostly wiped out, abruptly gathered, forming a spot of hazy celestial light that exploded violently. Before Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan could react, that spot of celestial light expanded, emitting an incredibly terrifying aura. A figure, shrouded in radiance and seemingly carrying the Milky Way on its back, suddenly appeared. It had 2 horns, 6 wings, a head like a wolf and tiger, and a body resembling glazed glass with raging thunder within, a thunder spirit. More importantly, Jiang Chengxuan sensed the aura of primeval power from this thunder spirit. In an instant his expression grew solemn, and he warned Shen Ruyan, "Be careful, this spirit is extraordinary." Hearing this, Shen Ruyan, who had relaxed her guard, furrowed her brows and wore a stern expression. Clearly, this sudden appearance of the primeval thunder spirit was the true master of this realm. For a moment the two sides faced off, each wary of the unexpected opponent, eyes filled with hostility. Charge! The next moment Jiang Chengxuan struck first, aiming to seize the initiative. The three great laws surged forward like a collapsing sky, carrying true immortal power and pressed down fiercely. The primeval thunder spirit, showing its intelligence, reacted swiftly. Its wolf-like mouth opened, and a thunder beam shot out, colliding head-on with Jiang Chengxuan's laws. Boom, 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 boom. Accompanied by several terrifying explosions, the world trembled, and the thunder beam of the thunder spirit matched the three great laws, devouring and battling in the void. Primeval power, Jiang Chengxuan's eyes narrowed. This thunder beam also contained primeval power, its level completely beyond the celestial realm's rules. Roar! With a menacing roar, the thunder spirit unleashed its full power, shattering Jiang Chengxuan's celestial energy. The primeval divine thunder, carrying an ancient and vast aura, struck directly. HMPH. Jiang Chengxuan's battle intent surged. Facing the incoming primeval divine thunder, he advanced head-on, his body radiating an enigmatic silver light, unleashing the power of spatial comprehension. With a gesture, he seemed to grasp the entire world's space, creating a deep space rift as a barrier. Buzz! In the nick of time, the twisted space swallowed the primeval divine thunder, perfectly neutralizing it. Life and death divine thunder, charge! Shen Ruyan shouted, her laws surging. The 5 thunder-slaying immortal sword, upgraded several times, emerged, and black and white life and death laws merged with the primordial divine thunder, slashing out. In the turbulent space, a sea of life and death divine thunder erupted, forming a roaring thunder ocean with dragons, fiercely attacking. This strike, containing ascended celestial power, was formidable, forcing even the thunder spirit to take it seriously. Facing Shen Ruyan's life and death divine thunder, the primeval thunder spirit chose not to confront it head-on. Between the two horizon-like seas of black and white thunder, its massive figure leaped high, and in the blink of an eye, transformed into an energy form, turning into wind and slipping through the gaps of the life and death divine thunder. Boom! The powerful strike missed the primeval thunder spirit, crashing into the distant void. The mutually repelling forces of the life and death laws neutralized each other, exploding into an incredibly terrifying blast. The black and white radiance instantly swallowed a portion of the void. In this first clash between the two sides, the result was unexpectedly even. Seeing this, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan became even more serious. Their exchanged glances conveyed the same message: do not hold back. Although the primeval thunder spirit's realm wasn't high, its abilities were strange, and underestimating it could lead to unexpected setbacks. Roar! With their killing intent growing stronger, the primeval thunder spirit decided not to wait any longer. Roaring at the sky, its body surged with primeval power. Out of nowhere, a sun appeared on the ground, bursting with an incredibly terrifying force, shattering the void and swallowing all the violent energy turbulence in the area, including the power of the couple's laws. Void rotation, chaos within and without. Jiang Chengxuan's expression turned serious, and the celestial power he had been gathering burst forth. The power of reincarnation, fused with the laws of the celestial domain, manifested, twisting everything around them into a strange distortion. In an instant, the world changed color. The previously brilliant world turned gray, enveloped in a mysterious darkness. Jiang Chengxuan's divine power had, in an almost unbelievable manner, flipped the entire world, entering a mystical inner world. Boom! In this realm, opposites like light and dark, life and death, and creation and destruction triggered terrifying destruction. Even the primeval power began to dissipate, vanishing into another world under the influence of the void rotation. The intertwining mystical auras caused the entire dimension to tremble, with cracking sounds echoing from its edges. Clearly, this dimension could not withstand such powerful battles for long. Finish it quickly. But this only fueled Jiang Chengxuan's determination. His battle intent grew even stronger. At his command, Shen Ruyan, moving in perfect sync, launched her attack through a breach Jiang Chengxuan had opened. Thunder God's decree, summon, all the thunder under heaven follows my command. Accompanied by the resonant sound of incantations, Shen Ruyan summoned an ancient and powerful celestial artifact. This artifact, known as the Thunder God's Decree, was something Shen Ruyan had obtained from an ancient relic. It once devoured all thunder under heaven, refining a thunder-breaking power that could destroy other thunder powers. By a stroke of luck, Shen Ruyan had obtained this artifact, which was perfect for dealing with the primeval thunder spirit. Roar! Indeed, under the power of the Thunder God's decree, the primeval thunder spirit felt an inexplicable fear and rage. It seemed to recognize a natural enemy and turned its focus towards Shen Ruyan. The primeval power transformed into thunder claws, striking towards her. Buzz! Instantly, the Thunder God's decree turned a deep red, resembling a red agate. A black and red energy burst forth, transforming into tendrils that entangled the thunder claws. Despite the violent primeval thunder, the decree's power seeped into the claws like a deadly poison, turning parts of it black and red, causing its luminescence to flicker. However, the primeval divine thunder's power level was too high. Even the thunder-breaking power could not completely erode it. Shen Ruyan bit her silver teeth, pushing all her celestial power, yet it was not enough. 5 Elements Annihilation. At this moment, Jiang Chengxuan switched from defense to offense. Taking advantage of the primeval thunder spirit being entangled by the Thunder God's decree, he shouted, dispersing his reincarnation power. A brilliant 5-colored light exploded to its limit. The 5 elements laws peaked, creating a world of celestial light. Jiang Chengxuan's eyes turned cold, his hand signs changed, and a destructive force surged out. Boom! In an instant, the world formed by the 5 elements light began to collapse. The reversal of the 5 elements and the annihilation of life and death unleashed a pure destructive force. It was like the end of the world, a flood swallowing everything. Roar! All this happened in a flash. Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan didn't need to communicate. They perfectly synchronized their attacks, making the most of every opportunity. Under the 5 elements annihilation, the primeval thunder spirit couldn't dodge. It roared, continuously emitting primeval power, burning the void. However, it was only a creature born from the primeval power, not one that possessed its essence. Under the combined pressure of Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan, even the primeval power was insufficient. After a few breaths of resistance, the distinctly separated realms completely collapsed. The annihilating power of the 5 elements celestial light mercilessly destroyed everything, completely engulfing the figure of the primeval thunder spirit. For a moment the entire sky plunged into dead silence, and darkness descended. The terrifying aftermath and explosions raged through the thick, inky blackness. When everything settled and light returned, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan saw no sign of the primeval thunder spirit. Instead, an ancient, radiant rune floated quietly in the void, continuously emitting brilliant lightning, causing ripples with traces of primeval divine thunder and an ancient aura. It's the essence of the primeval divine thunder, Shen Ruyan exclaimed with joy, her eyes gleaming with excitement. Jiang Chengxuan nodded, his face showing a pleased smile. Wife, this is a significant opportunity. You should absorb it while I stand guard. Without any hesitation, Shen Ruyan nodded gracefully and smiled. She flew towards the source left behind by the primeval thunder spirit. First, she used the Thunder God's decree to suppress the primeval divine thunder's aura. Then, she slowly manifested her celestial thunder laws, gradually absorbing and comprehending the power of the primeval divine thunder. Primeval power, how rare and formidable it is. As she absorbed it, Shen Ruyan's aura visibly surged, until finally the rune of the primeval divine thunder gradually turned into light particles and vanished. Shen Ruyan's aura broke through a threshold, directly stepping into the late stage of ascension. Boom! Immediately, a vast force erupted from where she sat, drawing an endless celestial chi from the surroundings. Even Jiang Chengxuan was slightly amazed, realizing the primeval power was more terrifying than he had imagined. Boom, boom, boom. However, at that moment, an unexpected change occurred. With the essence of the primeval power dissipated, and after the extensive destruction it had endured, the entire dimension began to truly collapse and destroy itself. Giant cracks spread like spiderwebs across the sky and ground, splitting the entire world into fragments. Amidst horrifying thunderclaps, chaotic energy stormed, unleashing havoc across the dimension. Spatial true understanding suppress. Reacting swiftly, Jiang Chengxuan extended his hands, and silvery spatial power spread out like a tide, instantly covering thousands of miles, momentarily halting the dimension's collapse. Consequently, Shen Ruyan's rising aura was forcibly stopped, leaving her at the quasi-late stage of ascension. The next moment she furrowed her brows, stood up from her seated position and said without hesitation, "Let's leave this place first, husband." Jiang Chengxuan nodded, understanding the urgency. With a wave of his hand, a portal shimmering with celestial light appeared. Without further delay, they stepped through it, leaving the collapsing dimension behind. Emerging from the portal, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan found themselves not back at their original location, but in another dimension altogether. This time it's the primeval earth. Seeing the surroundings, Jiang Chengxuan couldn't help but mutter. Before them, numerous floating peaks hovered as if weightless, trailing dust rivers. The entire dimension was shrouded in a veil of dust storms, leading Jiang Chengxuan to deduce that the primeval element here must be the primeval earth. Since we're here, we can't leave empty-handed. Flying among the floating peaks, Shen Ruyan felt delighted, remarking with a smile. This place was much more tranquil compared to the thunderous dimension, with the floating stones posing no threat to them. Enticed by the primeval element, they had no intention of leaving immediately. Hand in hand, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan floated through the dust-laden air, searching for traces of the primeval power. They never anticipated encountering someone who would astonish them. After months of searching, observing, and moving towards the densest elemental area, they finally sensed the presence of the primeval power. At the journey's end, a massive peak loomed within the dust, towering like a giant pillar holding up the sky. Invisible primeval energy flowed along the earth veins, releasing mysterious light particles into the void. Without a doubt, the primeval earth must be within this massive mountain. "Let's see if we can find a way in," Jiang Chengxuan said, his spirit surging as celestial power gathered in his hands. He unleashed a 9-colored beam of celestial light towards the mountain wall. Boom! Unexpectedly, the strike of true celestial power merely caused a muffled sound on the mountain wall, dislodging a few stones. The colossal mountain remained immovable, showing no signs of yielding to a passage. Not intending to force their way through, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan transformed into light beams, flying towards the mountain's peak. Passing through layers of celestial dust, they soon reached the summit. Typically, such restrictions would be centered here. There's someone here. And this aura feels familiar. On a small platform at the mountain's peak, instead of seeing an array or restriction, they saw a figure sitting cross-legged, enveloped in primeval celestial light, resembling a stone Buddha. Even from a distance, Jiang Chengxuan could sense a strangely familiar aura from the figure. For a moment, the couple exchanged bewildered looks. Could it be that someone had beaten them to this place? "Forgive the intrusion. May I ask your name?" Jiang Chengxuan politely called out to the figure. Only silence and stillness responded. Perhaps the person had already perished, or they were deeply immersed in their cultivation. Driven by curiosity, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan cautiously approached, maintaining a safe distance. As they drew closer, their eyes widened in shock. "Master!" A whisper of astonishment and joy escaped Jiang Chengxuan's lips, unable to contain his elation. Even Shen Ruyan covered her mouth with her delicate hand, her eyes wide in disbelief. The figure sitting there, absorbing the primeval power, was none other than Jiang Chengxuan's master, Qin Shenwu. The unexpected joy left Jiang Chengxuan doubting reality. Otherwise, how could such a coincidence occur? In the midst of the primeval domain, within the endless dimensions, they had stumbled upon a cultivator who turned out to be the very master they had been searching for. Taking a deep breath, Jiang Chengxuan looked at the familiar face, feeling at a loss for what to do. "Let's wait and see, husband," Shen Ruyan calmly suggested. Jiang Chengxuan collected himself, nodding in agreement. Though he didn't know why Qin Shenwu was here, it was undoubtedly a critical moment. Qin Shenwu's current appearance was more aged compared to before his ascension, but his aura and strength had grown even more formidable. Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan speculated that Qin Shenwu must have encountered some fortuitous opportunities in the celestial realm, allowing him to break through in cultivation and arrive at this treasure-laden land. It seemed likely that the entrance to this dimension with its myriad planes wasn't limited to the western Black Sea alone. There might be connections between certain places in the celestial realm and some of these planes. Time passed slowly as Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan waited patiently. One stayed by Qin Shenwu's side, while the other explored the current plane. They confirmed that the primeval power was indeed present only within this colossal mountain. There were no significant dangers, only some stone spirits and rock demons born from the earth's power. However, despite the passage of time, Qin Shenwu showed no signs of waking. If it weren't for the fact that his aura remained steady and strong, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan might have feared something had happened to him. So they continued to wait patiently. Finally, after several years, Qin Shenwu's condition began to change. In Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan's delighted gaze, Qin Shenwu suddenly burst forth with a dazzling yellow light, his aura rapidly rising, revealing his early-stage ascension realm cultivation. As Qin Shenwu's aura shifted, the entire massive peak began to tremble as if a dragon within the earth was stirring. Massive stones broke free from the mountain, plummeting thousands of meters to the ground below. Boom, boom, boom. Successive plumes of dust and thunderous roars were truly astonishing. Master. Yet this did not dampen Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan's joy. Just as Qin Shenwu emerged from the state of refining the primeval earth, he heard their call. For a moment, his expression froze, thinking he was hallucinating. Then he turned his head incredulously and saw that the people before him were indeed his disciples, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan. For a moment the three of them stared at each other, their eyes filled with excitement and joy, unable to suppress their smiles. Chengxuan Ruyan. With Qin Shenwu's incredulous cry, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan stepped forward and bowed. How are you here? In response to Qin Shenwu's question, Jiang Chengxuan briefly explained all that had happened in the celestial realm. He also learned why his master, Qin Shenwu, had come to this place. Qin Shenwu had entered a secret realm in the eastern continent of the celestial realm, which connected to this plane, bringing him here. Using the 5 elements divine mountain, he had detected the primeval earth here and spent a long time breaking through and beginning to absorb it. This process had taken an unknown number of years. At this moment, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan had discovered him. Master, we should leave this place. It's starting to collapse. Before they could exchange more words, seeing the mountain's increasing instability, Jiang Chengxuan used his celestial power to open a spatial portal. Qin Shenwu was startled by this display, realizing that Jiang Chengxuan had reached a realm beyond the true celestial. With a smile of satisfaction and pride, he nodded, and they all stepped through the portal, leaving the collapsing plane. A few days later, in a world filled with howling gales, Jiang Chengxuan, Shen Ruyan and Qin Shenwu walked slowly, enveloped in celestial light. Upon arriving in this plane, they did not rush to explore. Instead, they let Shen Ruyan absorb the primordial energy to stabilize her realm, solidifying her late-stage ascension cultivation. Jiang Chengxuan and his master shared their experiences in the celestial realm. They each learned about the other's journey. Over the past 10,000 years, Qin Shenwu's life in the celestial realm had not been particularly eventful. Compared to his disciples, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan, his talent was significantly lesser. Without Jiang Chengxuan's help, it was uncertain whether Qin Shenwu could have even reached the celestial realm. Thus, his early years in the celestial realm were unremarkable, with no significant opportunities or dangers. He had attempted to find the Haoran celestial sect, but had no success. Life remained mundane until he encountered the primeval earth, which helped him advance to the ascension realm. Upon hearing this, Jiang Chengxuan immediately revealed his status as a celestial alchemist and offered many high-grade celestial pills to Qin Shenwu. After much reluctance, Qin Shenwu accepted them with gratitude. Unconsciously, their roles had completely reversed, with Jiang Chengxuan now the pillar of the Haoran sect, protecting his master from the storms of life. Whoosh whoosh. Lost in their thoughts, the howling wind around them grew stronger. Fierce gales, chilling winds, scorching hot gusts, and ghostly breezes crossed thousands of miles, howling wildly. There was no doubt this plane belonged to the domain of wind. Ruyan, do you sense it? While isolating the strange winds with his celestial power, Jiang Chengxuan turned and asked. This time, their goal was to find the primeval wind. The best thing they could rely on was Shen Ruyan's mastery of the Tao of Wind. Especially after breaking through to the late ascension stage, Shen Ruyan's comprehension of the celestial Tao had deepened. I can feel it, but it keeps moving, Shen Ruyan, surrounded by layers of breezes, frowned and said. Hearing this, Jiang Chengxuan and Qin Shenwu's expressions became serious. It seemed that the primeval wind had turned into a spirit, meaning they would inevitably have to fight to obtain it. However, this time, they were prepared and would not be caught off guard as before. As their eyes exchanged glances, Jiang Chengxuan quickly formulated a plan. In a certain part of this wind plane, a strange and enormous shadow was shuttling through fierce and malevolent winds. It carried a faint primeval celestial glow and was composed of countless types of wind power, looking like an ancient phoenix, dazzling and majestic. Any wind-related Tao principles would become incredibly docile in its presence, merging seamlessly into its body. In this realm, it was the undisputed ruler. Chirp! Soaring through the sky, it let out a loud cry, resonating in all directions. However, at this moment, a silver light suddenly exploded in the void ahead, enveloping the entire area at an incredible speed, leaving no room for escape. Chirp! The primeval wind spirit screeched, realizing it had fallen into an ambush. Its massive nine-colored wings flapped, generating celestial winds strong enough to shake the heavens and earth continuously. Primeval thunder. Primeval five elements mountain seal. In the next moment, two shouts echoed from both sides of the primeval wind spirit. Immediately, a thunderbolt imbued with primeval power blasted through numerous layers of storm, carrying destructive force. Simultaneously, a massive hand, manifesting millions of mountain peaks and shining with primeval light, formed out of nowhere, suppressing the storm. It was clear that all of this was orchestrated by Jiang Chengxuan, Shen Ruyan, and Qin Shenwu. After deducing the primeval wind spirit's movements, Jiang Chengxuan led the others here for an ambush. Using his reversal of reincarnation to catch the primeval wind spirit off guard, he allowed Shen Ruyan and Qin Shenwu to unleash their strongest attacks to suppress it. Boom, boom, boom. Their swift actions completely caught the primeval wind spirit off guard, and the immense power made it feel fearful. As three different primeval forces erupted, the entire reversed inner world expanded and contracted violently, as if it would burst. Fortunately, Jiang Chengxuan reacted quickly, exerting his full power to suppress it. Otherwise, if the domain broke, the primeval wind spirit would escape instantly. Kengjin Void Sword Strike. The next moment, seeking to end the battle quickly, Jiang Chengxuan summoned the Kengjin Void Sword, launching it to join Shen Ruyan and Qin Shenwu in their assault. The already chaotic battlefield became even more chaotic, destruction rampant. Chirp! Amidst the intense screeching, the primeval wind spirit continuously summoned celestial winds, engaging in an all-out battle with Shen Ruyan, Qin Shenwu, and Jiang Chengxuan. But from the outset, the battle's outcome was decided. Unable to utilize its speed advantage, the primeval wind spirit, though not highly advanced in cultivation, could not withstand the combined assault of a true immortal and two ascension stage cultivators. Even the opponents wielded primeval forces, showing no fear of the primeval wind. The fierce battle lasted for 7 days. Finally, Jiang Chengxuan extended his hand, unleashing the power of reincarnation, causing the entire reversal of reincarnation world to collapse. The terrifying forces from all directions crushed the struggling primeval wind spirit. With the windstorms howling, the universe cleared, revealing a glowing primeval rune suspended in the void, emanating a profound aura. Ruyan, go ahead, Jiang Chengxuan said softly, and Shen Ruyan nodded deeply before flying to the primeval rune, beginning her comprehension and absorption. Before arriving, they had already decided that Shen Ruyan would take this primeval rune as she was best suited with her Wind Tao principles. After a period of waiting, Shen Ruyan successfully acquired the second primeval force, becoming the one who gained the most fortuitous encounters in this exploration. Her aura surged again, nearly reaching the peak of the ascension stage. Husband, I have mastered the power of the primeval wind. Standing beside Jiang Chengxuan and Qin Shenwu, Shen Ruyan smiled radiantly. Jiang Chengxuan and Qin Shenwu both smiled back, without hesitation. Jiang Chengxuan used his mastery of spatial manipulation to open a deep space portal. Having completed their objective, they left decisively. After they departed, the winds in this realm, no longer sustained by the primeval force, began to rage wildly, causing the plane to start collapsing. With their prior experiences, their subsequent explorations became more efficient. Upon arriving in a new plane, the three would commence their search. However, this time, after searching thoroughly, they found no trace of primeval force. It seems not all minor planes contain primeval force. Some planes, primeval force may have been entirely consumed during their formation. Jiang Chengxuan speculated, and the others nodded in agreement. They left the plane and moved to the next one. Unfortunately, their luck seemed to have run out, as they found no primeval force in several planes. Could it be that we are heading in the wrong direction? Qin Shenwu asked, his voice heavy. Hearing this, Jiang Chengxuan felt a subtle unease. Their goal was to find the true primeval fragment, not just the primeval runes. What method could they use to locate it? As Jiang Chengxuan pondered deeply, a flash of inspiration struck him. A hypothesis emerged, and he felt it might be the correct solution. I've got it. Perhaps, if we find the worlds containing primeval water and primeval fire, the location of the primeval fragment will reveal itself. Attracting Shen Ruyan and Qin Shenwu's attention, Jiang Chengxuan confidently explained. Their eyes gleamed, realizing the possibility. Thunder, wind, earth, water, fire. These were believed to be the 5 basic elements constituting all things during the primordial chaos. Jiang Chengxuan's hypothesis was based on this theory, with a high probability of being correct. Brilliant, Chengxuan. Husband, that's wonderful. Qin Shenwu and Shen Ruyan praised, their faces beaming. Let's go, no time to lose, Jiang Chengxuan urged, eager to start. In the following exploration, with this new goal, their search speed increased significantly. They bypassed planes unrelated to water and fire, focusing only on those with similar characteristics. This saved considerable effort, and only about 1 in every dozen planes required their investigation. Finally, their perseverance paid off as they once again sensed the presence of a primeval force. The scene before Jiang Chengxuan and his companions was one of awe-inspiring grandeur. This plane was larger than any they had encountered before, presenting a world split into 2 distinct halves, the sky a deep blue and the ground a fiery red. Above, an endless expanse of water, dark and unfathomable, hung suspended in the sky, reflecting a myriad of shimmering lights. Countless enormous shadows swam within, exuding an aura of terrifying power. Below their feet, a continent forged from flames stretched out in every direction. Strange fires of various hues, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet, burned fiercely, distorting the air for hundreds of feet above. Even with their considerable cultivation, Jiang Chengxuan, Shen Ruyan, and Qin Shenwu could only stand within the narrow space where the blue and red met, suspended in midair. The primeval fire and primeval water coexist here. Feeling the intimidating presence from both the sky and ground, Jiang Chengxuan frowned, murmuring to himself. The most incompatible elements, water and fire, had formed a single plane, an unexpected and unique phenomenon. Trying to subdue them would undoubtedly be far more challenging than their previous encounters. Roar! Just then an even more astonishing event unfolded. Suddenly, a roar erupted from the fiery continent below. Simultaneously, a vast presence rapidly approached. Roar! From the ocean suspended in the sky came a deafening roar. Massive shadows within seemed disturbed by something, hurriedly scattering to make way. A formidable entity, exuding a terrifying aura, moved swiftly. Boom, boom! 2 thunderous explosions rang out almost simultaneously, with dazzling flames erupting like a volcanic explosion, shooting up thousands of feet. Above, the turbulent ocean responded with towering waterspouts, sweeping across the heavens and earth, pressing down on the fiery land. Let's avoid this first. Jiang Chengxuan's eyes narrowed as he used his spatial power to take Shen Ruyan and Qin Shenwu away from the battlefield instantly. The next moment, the 2 destructive forces clashed violently, and the terrifying aftermath swept across millions of miles. Intense heat and raging torrents consumed each other, filling the space with white mist and tearing countless rifts in the void. As the shockwaves subsided and the mist cleared, Jiang Chengxuan and his companions saw the source of the disturbance. There were 2 massive primeval spirits, one formed from countless flames, the other from boundless torrents. Both radiated a primeval celestial glow and an aura of overwhelming power, far stronger than any primeval spirit they had previously encountered. Husband, these two primeval spirits are incredibly powerful. Shen Ruyan remarked, her expression serious. Jiang Chengxuan nodded in agreement. Fortunately, they don't seem to know how to work together and instead appear to be sworn enemies. Before them, the two fierce primeval spirits continued roaring at each other, releasing their auras furiously, asserting their dominance. Initially, they had thought the spirits had detected their presence, potentially leading to a fierce battle. However, this was not the case. I think there's an opportunity here. Qin Shenwu shared Jiang Chengxuan's thoughts, both understanding that the clash between the two spirits might be their chance. Roar! Without warning, the two primeval spirits unleashed their immense power, clashing ferociously. The primeval fire spirit, a beast wreathed in a myriad of flames, resembled a lion or tiger. Each move it made sent out waves of scorching heat. The primeval water spirit, resembling a four-legged beast with a snake-like body, akin to the mythical Xuanwu, unleashed torrents of water from its gaping maw, tearing the void apart. Within moments, the entire battlefield was engulfed in primeval water and fire, a void of destruction where celestial light shone, and the two rulers of this realm showcased their supreme power. Such a sight was extremely rare in the celestial realm. Normally, beings of such strength would not easily engage in such a deadly duel. However, these two naturally opposing spirits cared little for anything but the complete annihilation of the other, driven by an instinctual desire to absorb and dominate. Time passed amidst the earth-shattering battle. Jiang Chengxuan and his companions could hear nothing but the deafening roars and the constant shattering of space. Hidden in a corner, Jiang Chengxuan focused intently on the battlefield, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. He refrained from using his senses to probe, fearing it might alert the primeval spirits. Beside him, Shen Ruyan and Qin Shenwu maintained their peak states, ready to act at a moment's notice. Roar! After an unknown length of time, the roars diminished. Nearly everything in the area had been destroyed. Both the inverted ocean in the sky and the fiery continent below had collapsed by thousands of feet, leaving only a vast void. The two primeval spirits, their auras chaotic and unstable, were covered in wounds where water and fire had corroded each other. The once majestic and ferocious eyes now held only a desperate determination. Jiang Chengxuan and his companions held their breath, their hearts pounding. They knew the moment they had been waiting for was finally arriving. Attack now! In an instant, Jiang Chengxuan saw the two primeval spirits showing signs of retreating. With a roar, he released his concealed aura and launched his attack. Boom! Jiang Chengxuan's attack was immediately at full power. Under the astonished gazes of the two primeval spirits, he emerged from the flank, unleashing his true immortal power. Layers of silvery spatial energy enveloped the area, creating a barrier that covered thousands of miles. His eyes narrowed as he manipulated space itself, causing colossal tidal waves of space to surge forth, crushing everything in their path like a collapsing sky. Even the two massive primeval spirits seemed small in comparison to this terrifying force. This attack's power surpassed all of Jiang Chengxuan's previous efforts, not because of his own strength, but due to the already weakened state of the spatial fabric from the battle between the two primeval spirits. The small plane they were in was already fragile, and Jiang Chengxuan's attack was like the final straw, triggering a catastrophic collapse. Boom, boom! The void shattered, turning into fragments that fell like meteors, creating a scene as if a black hole had been unleashed. The two primeval spirits, faces filled with terror, roared in anger and unleashed their primeval power in a desperate attempt to resist. However, the sheer destructive force of Jiang Chengxuan's attack, combined with the plane's instability, was beyond their ability to withstand. In the face of this apocalyptic collapse, even the strongest primeval spirits were powerless. The falling void fragments continuously crushed their strength, annihilating the primeval water and fire completely. Shen Ruyan and Qin Shenwu, ready to unleash their own attacks, were stunned into inaction by the sheer scale of the destruction. The fragility of this plane is beyond my expectations. Jiang Chengxuan was equally surprised and shook his head helplessly. Despite causing the destruction, he could not control it. The chain reaction led to an ever-escalating collapse, threatening to bring down the entire world. Roar! Fortunately, despite the chaos, their objective was achieved. The two primeval spirits trapped in the collapsing space were ultimately suppressed and killed, leaving behind two primeval runes. The once chaotic collapse began to stabilize, the destruction gradually calming. Jiang Chengxuan's attack, capitalizing on the plane's fragility, had perfectly executed a lethal strike on the two most powerful primeval spirits. Relieved, Jiang Chengxuan's companions signaled for him to retrieve the primeval runes. The primeval water and fire powers would be immensely useful to him. Buzz! Just as Jiang Chengxuan was about to touch the runes, a strange fluctuation erupted. Under their astonished gazes, the runes began to dissolve into light particles, as if being absorbed. However, Jiang Chengxuan had not yet collected them. Slightly taken aback, Jiang Chengxuan was even more surprised by what happened next. As the runes dissolved into the void, a faint glow appeared, releasing a torrent of primeval water and fire energy, as if the spirits had been revived. Amid their growing confusion and vigilance, the energies intertwined, forming a coherent whole. A presence beyond the true immortal realm emerged, filling their minds with visions of the cosmos at its inception, shrouded in water and fire. Is that? As the light faded, a sword made from the fusion of primeval water and fire appeared before Jiang Chengxuan. The aura it emitted was undoubtedly of the earth immortal level. The primeval fire and water fused to form this. Jiang Chengxuan's face lit up with joy and astonishment. Without hesitation, he reached out and grasped the primeval water-fire sword. The power within made his heart race. It was his first time encountering such a powerful earth immortal treasure. Ha! Excellent. Chengxuan, your fortune is truly remarkable. Husband, the aura of this sword is incredibly strong. Both Qin Shenwu and Shen Ruyan were equally awestruck, their eyes shining with admiration. Shen Ruyan, in particular, recognized the sword's immense value, her eyes filled with delight. Jiang Chengxuan, overjoyed with the unexpected boon, could barely put the sword down. Boom! However, their joy was short-lived. As soon as Jiang Chengxuan claimed the sword, another primeval aura descended upon the world. Jiang Chengxuan and his companions felt a force tugging at them. The primeval rune powers they had absorbed emerged from their bodies, transforming into 5 beams of primeval light that converged on a point in the void. As expected, Jiang Chengxuan remained calm, even smiling. He had speculated that after gathering the 5 primeval elements, thunder, earth, wind, water, and fire, the core of the primeval fragment would reveal itself. Their combined beams formed a massive primeval rune. An ancient gate made of primeval light appeared in the void, transcending time and space. Drawn by its power, Jiang Chengxuan, Shen Ruyan, and Qin Shenwu exchanged looks of mutual understanding. Protected by their primeval powers, they transformed into streaks of light and entered the gate. Instantly, they felt themselves merging with the cosmos, enveloped by myriad energies, feeling an unparalleled sense of comfort. Guided by the gentle primeval light, they arrived in a hidden realm. The realm was devoid of peril, filled only with flowing primeval radiance, capturing a moment of the universe's inception. Without needing any prompting, the primeval energy flowed into them, merging with their beings. Wasting no time, they sat cross-legged and began cultivating. This extraordinary opportunity was one they could not afford to squander. As the primeval power surged into them, Jiang Chengxuan's understanding of the earth immortal domain grew at an astonishing pace. It was as if he had been born with the knowledge of creating a realm, understanding what made a blessed land, and why all things existed. His aura continuously strengthened within the radiant glow. The primeval fragment, a divine object born at the dawn of the cosmos, is one of the oldest forces in existence, even in the celestial realm. Jiang Chengxuan now sat in the secret realm of the primeval fragment, his consciousness immersed in a state of enlightenment. In his mind, the scene of the universe's creation constantly unfolded and changed. In the magnificent early days of the cosmos, at the farthest reaches of the universe, countless powerful beings and realms were born from an all-encompassing explosion. Because of this, various worlds sprang up like bamboo shoots after a rain, and over billions of years, one celestial way after another was created, destroyed, and reincarnated repeatedly. All celestial realm rules and principles evolved continuously from this, forming the current 36 celestial realms. All these intangible insights gradually became clear in Jiang Chengxuan's mind. Using the power of the primeval fragment, he envisioned how to create his own blessed land, a real, tangible world. This would be different from the illusory realms formed by the 5 elements, reincarnation, and life and death principles, as it would be a real world where all living beings could exist and thrive. To achieve this, the necessary means were comparable to the power of creation itself. Even immortals could not easily attempt it. After all, if this blessed land was created, it would become like a second body for the cultivator. It would contain all his principles and power, connected to him by countless threads. If something went wrong and the blessed land was destroyed, the cultivator's principles and physical body would be damaged, minor issues at best. At worst, it could mean the total annihilation of his soul, and it might even invoke some unknown force that would erase the cultivator from existence forever, preventing any chance of reincarnation. Creating a blessed land is akin to stealing the universe's power of creation. This mystery and profoundness are beyond the full grasp of Earth's immortal cultivators. They merely glimpse a corner of it, attempting to mimic an external place. But in the blink of an eye, thousands of years passed. Within this primeval fragment's secret realm, Jiang Chengshuan and his companions finally completed their comprehension. At this moment, each of them had absorbed and refined the power of the primeval fragment to the limit. Even if they stayed longer, they could not absorb any more of it. Their bodies and principles had been transformed by the primeval fragment's power. Without stronger primeval energy, it would be difficult to gain further benefits. During this time, their auras had improved to a staggering degree compared to when they first entered. Shenroyan, after undergoing these great fortunes, had progressed from mid-stage true immortal to peak true immortal, even stepping halfway into the realm of a true immortal. Qin Shenwu had also advanced from early-stage true immortal to late-stage true immortal. As for Jiang Chengshuan, his growth was even more astonishing. His principles and body were already stronger than others, allowing for a higher limit. With the infinite transformation from the primeval fragment's power, his aura, though restrained, was now even more daunting than when he had previously exerted all his power. There was even a trace of aura surpassing the true immortal level, subtly emerging, causing Shen Royan and Qin Shenwu to marvel. Half-step Earth immortal. They realized that this was Jiang Chengshuan's current realm. It seems everyone has reaped significant rewards. Breaking the silence, Jiang Chengshuan looked around and smiled. Ah, this is the importance of celestial fortune for a cultivator. Hearing this, Qin Shenwu, though pleased, sighed and shook his head, expressing his sentiment. He had lived a modest life in the Xuanming celestial realm for so long, but now he had suddenly obtained this tremendous fortune, breaking through several realms in succession. The impact on his mind was greater than on Jiang Chengshuan and Shen Royan. For those destined, celestial fortune was readily available. For those without it, it was unattainable throughout their lives. In these thousands of years, his cultivation had advanced more rapidly than in the previous tens of thousands of years combined. Boom! At this moment, the primeval power within the secret realm suddenly surged with a loud roar. An invisible force appeared around Jiang Chengshuan and his companions, enveloping them in an instant. Seeing this, the three of them became solemn but did not resist. In the next moment, a brilliant light erupted, and their figures disappeared from the secret realm. After another mystical journey, when their surroundings became clear again, Jiang Chengshuan and his companions found themselves in a certain void. Husband, this seems to be the place we first arrived. With a glance around, Shen Royan spoke. Jiang Chengshuan nodded in agreement. Clearly, it was the power of the primeval secret realm sending them away. Master, if you have no other destination in the Xuanming celestial realm, please stay with us at the Scattered Cultivator Alliance for now. Jiang Chengshuan suggested, turning to Qin Shenwu. Him? Naturally, Qin Shenwu did not refuse. Thus, with Jiang Chengshuan's casual gesture, they did not linger. As the power of the ancient formation activated, the distant sound of tides echoed in Jiang Chengshuan's ears. After thousands of years, they returned to the western Dark Sea. But this time, their reception was vastly different. Now, the aura of primeval power exuding from them, combined with their formidable presence, ensured a smooth journey without any obstructions. Soon, they arrived at the verdant mountains and clear waters of the Scattered Cultivator Alliance's gate. The Alliance members, having anxiously awaited their return for thousands of years, felt a profound sense of relief. Traversing through the perilous region of the western Dark Sea, no one dared to hinder their journey. The path back was smooth and uneventful. Soon, passing through layers of black waters and flying over desolate lands, the verdant mountains and clear waters of the Scattered Cultivator Alliance's gate appeared before them. Senior Elder Shen and Immortal Jiang, They've returned. With the guards' jubilant shouts, news of their return caused a stir within the Alliance. After thousands of years of anxious waiting, the elders of the scattered Cultivator Alliance finally felt at ease. If anything had happened to Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Royan, they would have been inconsolable. Royan, you finally returned. Brother Jiang. Amid the greetings from the gathered crowd, the delighted voices of Elder Su and Feng Zhu suddenly rang out as they emerged from the throng. Elder Su. Zhu. Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Royan warmly responded. After all, this grand opportunity was thanks to them. You've successfully obtained the fortune, that's wonderful. Judging by their auras, Elder Su immediately sensed the good news and was overjoyed. Over the past few thousand years, with the support of the elixirs given by Jiang Chengxuan, her cultivation had also improved significantly, and she looked considerably younger. The group conversed for a while until the alliance leader appeared, prompting Jiang Chengxuan to introduce Qin Shenwu. This sparked another round of exclamations, and the leader, Li Xingxian, happily announced a warm welcome for Qin Shenwu. After making arrangements for Qin Shenwu, everyone dispersed, returning to their respective abodes. The following period was exceptionally peaceful. In the scattered Cultivator Alliance, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Royan resumed their secluded cultivation. The cultivation they had achieved in the primeval secret realm needed to be consolidated, given the rapid advancements that even surpassed the effects of various celestial elixirs Jiang Chengxuan had consumed. This consolidation process took several hundred years. During this time, Jiang Chengxuan occasionally fulfilled the Alliance members' elixir needs, addressing a significant challenge for the Alliance. For the scattered cultivators, having an exclusive celestial alchemist was beyond their wildest dreams. As a result, the scattered cultivator Alliance's development trend became unstoppable. With Jiang Chengxuan, who was close to the Earth immortal level, as their backing, the Alliance in the western continent of the Xianxia immortal realm became an unchallengeable force. Although Jiang Chengxuan and his companions did not actively help the Alliance rise, their mere presence was a tremendous endorsement. Consequently, scattered cultivators from all over came flocking to join the Alliance. The Alliance's domain and its members grew at an astonishing rate, while their enemies were terrified and dared not provoke them. In the blink of an eye, several hundred more years passed. By then, the scattered Cultivator Alliance's strength had increased tenfold compared to when Jiang Chengxuan first arrived. With the influx of various cultivators, the Alliance gradually improved, with organizations and subsidies sprouting throughout the western continent. The leadership shifted from a single leader to a council of elders, naturally including Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Royan. During the Alliance's expansion in the following centuries, the two had intervened several times, repelling forces that targeted the Alliance, including the Shengyuan immortal sect and many true immortal sects. These were all crushed by Jiang Chengxuan, suffering heavy losses and fleeing in disgrace. If not for Jiang Chengxuan's reluctance to stir up trouble, none would have survived to return. As the Alliance's expansion slowed at Jiang Chengxuan's behest, a strange balance stabilized the western continent of Xianxia. The scattered Cultivator Alliance officially became a formidable power, even gaining some renown in the Xianxia immortal realm. Since their interests were not threatened, the major sects eventually tacitly accepted this situation. Senior Elder Chengxuan, this invitation is for you. In a newly established city of the scattered Cultivator Alliance, within the Grand Hall, Jiang Chengxuan received a red envelope from a disciple. Beside him, dressed in white and as beautiful as a celestial being, Shen Royan also looked up. Central Continent of Xianxia, Jian Immortal Mountain, Wanbao Celestial Assembly, cordially invites the scattered Cultivator Alliance. Inside the red envelope was a simple invitation regarding the Wanbao Celestial Assembly. The Wanbao Celestial Assembly. Jiang Chengxuan murmured, his eyes shining. He had heard of this assembly during his time in the Alliance. It was a grand trading event held once every 10,000 years, organized by several major commercial guilds in the Xianxia immortal realm. Only those with significant renown received invitations, making it a rare opportunity to acquire treasures. Clearly, Jiang Chengxuan's actions in the western continent had caught some attention. Moreover, he was in need of such an opportunity. After consolidating his realm, he had been seeking a way to break through to the Earth immortal stage, with the primary task of refining his own Earth immortal blessed land, a small world of his own. This required numerous celestial materials, and even with his collection, he was still short by about a third. Creating a blessed land involved extremely precious celestial treasures, obtainable only through exchanges or secret realm explorations. Without his previous experiences and the many rare materials he had obtained, Jiang Chengxuan's path to the Earth immortal stage would have been even longer. In that case, I must attend. Muttering to himself, Jiang Chengxuan had made up his mind. He had not ventured beyond the Western continent in thousands of years, and this assembly was a perfect opportunity. "Husband, let me accompany you." Shenroyan spoke softly, her interest piqued as she joined Jiang Chengxuan. Nodding, the two transformed into streaks of light, flying towards a location within the Alliance's territory. Soon they arrived at a grand hall, where their presence prompted bows from the disciples. Before them stood a towering azure platform, embedded with large spatial crystals and intricate patterns, a teleportation array constructed with Jiang Chengxuan's help for the Alliance. "Let's go." Stepping into the array with Shen Royan, Jiang Chengxuan activated its power. Amid the disciples' envious gazes, they vanished in the spatial waves. Passing through numerous spatial barriers, they emerged in a new realm, a small city in the central continent of Xianxia. Without pausing, Jiang Chengxuan, displaying his true immortal cultivation, tore open a spatial gate, stepping through it with Shen Royan, eliciting gasps from the city's cultivators. Jian Immortal Mountain, located in the central continent, was a treasure land. Unaffiliated with any faction, it opened only during the Wanbao Assembly. Rich in celestial energy, its towering peaks were shrouded in various clouds, creating a mesmerizing sight. At this moment, the mountain was bustling with activity. Immortal clouds were filled with powerful cultivators standing or wandering. Jian Immortal Mountain covered an incredibly vast area, capable of accommodating 1,000,000 people without issue. Arranged by several major merchant guilds in the Xianxia celestial domain, it was meticulously divided into various trading zones. From afar, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan saw the immortal mountain enveloped in layers of colorful clouds. At the mountainside, there were numerous shimmering thin veils of light cascading from the sky, separating different areas. These were the handiwork of true immortals, utilizing spatial power to transform the entire Jian Immortal Mountain into a city-like structure. As they approached the foot of the mountain, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan saw many cultivators setting up stalls. Some had modest canopies, while others used colorful clouds, displaying their items for trade. The path at the mountain's base was almost entirely occupied by these stalls, with countless treasures glowing brightly, creating a starry pathway. Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan, influenced by the bustling atmosphere, strolled leisurely among the stalls. Their distinguished presence quickly drew attention, and many cultivators eagerly introduced their treasures as they passed by. Transformative immortal medicine, golden dragon fruit, transcendent immortal material 100 beast bloodstone. Ancient relic immortal treasure soul severing blade, immortal pill golden phoenix rain dew pill. Transcendent demon beast demon core, demon bones, demon skin. Even Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan, seasoned cultivators, were overwhelmed by the array of items. These stalls were not organized by the 10,000 Treasures Immortal Fair, but were set up by cultivators spontaneously coming to trade. This behavior, attracting more cultivators to the fair and increasing its fame, was not prohibited. The items varied widely in quality, often purchasable with celestial crystals. For cultivators not invited to the fair, this was a good place to exchange cultivation resources. "I'll take this cold bone immortal bamboo. I'll take this box of yellow phoenix immortal fruit. What price for this flying winged demon dragon wing?" After several days of wandering around the stalls at the mountain's base, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan acquired many desirable treasures. While not exceedingly rare, these immortal treasures were difficult to find in the western region of the Xianxia celestial domain, often specialties from other celestial domains. Jiang Chengxuan, as an immortal alchemist, understood the importance of being prepared. Spending most of the celestial crystals accumulated in the Wangxing celestial domain, he stocked up on any potentially useful immortal medicines and materials. By the time they reached the actual trading area of the 10,000 Treasures Fair, his storage ring was brimming with treasures. "Husband, this 10,000 Treasures Fair truly lives up to its reputation," Shen Ruyan said with a radiant smile. She had acquired many materials useful for breaking through to the true immortal realm just from the outer trading area. Indeed, Jiang Chengxuan agreed with a smile, filled with anticipation. This level of trade is something I've never seen in the celestial domain. With that, they approached the shimmering spatial veil and stepped through. A ripple of mystical energy washed over them, and they found themselves in a new realm, greeted by a breathtaking view. They stood on a cloud-like surface, surrounded by a dense array of treasures and a gentle celestial breeze. Welcome, immortals, to the first level of the 10,000 Treasures Fair. May I see your invitations? A cultivator in blue and white attire greeted them respectfully. His badge, marked with a 9-colored radiant palace, indicated he was a servant of the Merchant Guild. Jiang Chengxuan handed over their invitations, and the servant bowed even more respectfully before leaving. Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan then proceeded into the fair. The interior was exquisitely decorated, with antique screens, luxurious celestial stone tables and chairs, and countless pavilions stretching out majestically. Numerous distinguished cultivators wandered among the trading area, each holding valuable treasures, wearing celestial robes, and exuding an aura of pride. Only those with significant reputations in the Xunaming celestial domain were invited here. There were almost no cultivators below the transcendent immortal realm, and even true immortals were common sights. Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan's arrival attracted attention, especially when others noticed Jiang Chengxuan's badge marking him as an immortal alchemist, sparking curiosity. I observe that you two are extraordinary. May I ask your names, for I have not heard of you before? A skilled cultivator approached them, seeking to uncover their identities. A smiling face greeted Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan, asking for their names. The 10,000 Treasures Immortal Fair was as much a place for socializing and networking as it was for trading, making this cultivator's approach quite natural. Those around them also turned their attention, eager to learn more. I wouldn't dare be so presumptuous, Jiang Chengxuan responded with a light smile. I am Jiang Chengxuan, and this is my beloved wife, Shen Ruyan. We both come from the remote region of the Western continent. It is no surprise that you haven't heard of us. Jiang Chengxuan didn't directly mention their affiliation with the Loose Cultivator Alliance, but he also didn't hide it, giving a general answer. His words made many around him ponder, with those familiar with recent events in the Western continent beginning to form suspicions about their identities. I see. The cultivator who had approached them smiled and refrained from further questioning. For most, these details were not particularly significant. Upon confirming that Jiang Chengxuan was not from a prominent sect, their interest waned. Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan took no offense and continued exploring the fair at their own pace. They soon realized that this place was even larger than they had anticipated, and they were only in the first trading level of the 10,000 Treasures Fair, specifically in the eastern sector of the divided zones. It's quite novel how traders here display their most precious treasures openly, waiting for interested parties to approach. Shen Ruyan commented with interest as she observed the immortal cultivators walking around the fair with treasures in hand, radiating celestial light and divine energy. We shouldn't fall behind, Jiang Chengxuan chuckled. With a flash of spiritual light, he took out a treasure he had prepared for trading. Instantly, the surrounding air grew warmer, with a violent energy barely contained, exuding a formidable presence alongside a black light that drew many gazes. In an instant, numerous cultivators focused their attention on the object in Jiang Chengxuan's hand. It was a pitch-black scale, coursing with golden Dao power, radiating celestial light and extraordinary power. What is that? Many cultivators gasped, recognizing the scale's rarity. This scale clearly belonged to a true immortal-level beast, a rarity even at the 10,000 Treasures Fair. Its presence suggested that Jiang Chengxuan had once slain such a beast, implying formidable strength and cultivation. To kill a true immortal beast, one needed exceptional power, often requiring the combined efforts of several true immortals and meticulous planning. Is this a reverse scale of a true immortal beast? A cultivator nearby asked with a heated gaze, surrounded by a group holding various treasures. Yes, Jiang Chengxuan confirmed, causing another wave of gasps and murmurs among the crowd. How do you plan to trade this item? Another eager cultivator asked, eyes burning with desire. A reverse scale from a true immortal beast was often more valuable than a true immortal-grade treasure, as obtaining one meant slaying the beast, a daunting task even for true immortals. The value of this item is well understood, Jiang Chengxuan began calmly. I am not greedy. I seek only 3 specific immortal materials in exchange. His words did not provoke any shock. Instead, Many cultivators nodded in agreement. Given the reverse scale's rarity, Jiang Chengxuan's request was quite reasonable. "What immortal materials do you seek?" one cultivator at the forefront asked urgently, fearing a delay might cost them the opportunity. "The first is the floating sand of the Buddha," Jiang Chengxuan began, his voice calm and steady. "The second is the true essence of the myriad stars. The third is the nether Tao profound stone." As his voice echoed, many cultivators sighed inwardly, realizing Jiang Chengxuan was no fool. These materials were not easy to come by, often requiring sheer luck to obtain. The true essence of the myriad stars, for instance, could only be found in a few celestial bodies out of millions. The floating sand of the Buddha and the nether Tao profound stone were equally rare. Gradually, the crowd fell silent, with many deciding to quietly observe, understanding the difficulty of acquiring all three materials. Jiang Chengxuan remained unhurried, knowing that if this place didn't have what he sought, he could search elsewhere within the 10,000 treasures fair. While rare, these materials were not impossible to find, periodically surfacing in the celestial domain. "This friend, I have two of the items you seek." A voice finally broke the silence after some time. A white-browed man in luxurious attire stepped forward, holding two radiant, celestial light-emitting treasure boxes. One contained the true essence of the myriad stars, reflecting the cosmos within. The other held the floating sand of the Buddha, each grain holding a world's shadow and a golden tower. "True essence of the myriad stars, floating sand of the Buddha," the crowd murmured, eyes filled with envy. However, after a moment's thought, Jiang Chengxuan shook his head. "I need all three materials. I cannot make an exchange with just two. My apologies." The white-browed man's expression tightened, while the surrounding cultivators felt a pang of sympathy. I possess the nether Tao profound stone," another voice cut through, accompanied by a cold laugh. A twist of fate had occurred. All eyes turned to the speaker, including Jiang Chengxuan's. In this unexpected turn, all three materials Jiang Chengxuan sought had surfaced within a short span of time, a testament to the 10,000 treasures fair's depth. The one with the nether Tao profound stone, however, had another proposition. "How about you trade those two treasures with me?" he suggested, eyeing the white-browed man. He intended to use the floating sand and true essence to trade for the reverse scale himself. The sudden confrontation left everyone present a bit startled, and they quickly adopted an attitude of watching the drama unfold. It seemed both individuals were determined to compete for the true, immortal ancient dragon's reverse scale, and neither intended to easily let the opportunity slip by. However, since neither of them could gather the three required materials on their own, a dispute was inevitable. "You jest, sir. I hold two of the three required materials, while you possess only one. If anyone should be granted this opportunity, it ought to be me," the white-browed cultivator retorted coldly in response to the other's probing. From the crowd emerged a cultivator clad in a black fur cloak. His figure was gaunt, and his face was sharp and thin. At a glance, it was clear he wasn't a benevolent character. "It's the profound underworld celestial sex, profound underworld immortal. He's here as well," someone exclaimed in recognition, their voice tinged with surprise. The profound underworld celestial sect was a prominent faction within the profound bright celestial domain, rumored to house three true immortal powerhouses, making it a formidable force. Though not a demonic sect, its cultivation methods leaned heavily towards the path of darkness, resulting in a reputation for producing erratic and ruthless disciples notorious across the celestial domain. Cackling, the profound underworld immortal's sinister laughter filled the air as he addressed the white-browed cultivator without directly answering. "Why be so particular about who came first or who has more? The treasures of this world belong to those who are worthy. If you relinquish this opportunity today, the profound underworld celestial sect will remember your favor." The intent behind his words was clear to all present. The profound underworld immortal was leveraging his sect's influence to intimidate the white-browed cultivator. Despite being eligible to attend the 10,000 Treasures Immortal Fair, the Long Cloud Celestial Sect, to which the white-browed cultivator belonged, was inferior in strength to the profound Underworld Celestial Sect. Moreover, the profound Underworld Celestial Sect's disciples were known for their lawlessness. The white-browed cultivator, though incensed, found himself unable to retort. Seeing this, the profound Underworld Immortal pressed his advantage, stepping closer and saying, "I genuinely wish to trade. I hope you won't reject my goodwill." His eyes bore into the white-browed cultivator's, exuding an oppressive aura. Many present frowned at the blatant display of intimidation, including Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan. However, they knew better than to interfere. The fair's rules ensured the safety of participants, but direct involvement in such disputes was unwise. HMPH, such gall from the profound underworld celestial sect, a righteous voice suddenly boomed, catching everyone off guard. They turned to see a red-robed cultivator step forward, holding a piece of jade radiating a serene glow that seemed to quiet the very world around them, the Nether Dao profound stone. "It's the Scarlet Ridge Immortal from the Maple Sky Celestial Sect," someone in the crowd exclaimed, recognizing the newcomer. "Those two sects are always at odds. This will definitely frustrate the profound underworld immortal." The Maple Sky Celestial Sect and the profound underworld Celestial Sect were known rivals, stemming from a history of internal strife that split a single faction into two. Their enmity ran deep, and their powers were closely matched. "Scarlet Ridge, are you here to ruin my plans?" the profound underworld immortal shouted, pointing at the red-robed cultivator, his aura flaring menacingly. The Scarlet Ridge immortal remained unfazed, his expression stern as he met the challenge head-on. The tense standoff left the white-browed cultivator caught in the middle, unsure of how to proceed. "Do not engage. Remember the rules of the 10,000 Treasures Immortal Fair," a commanding voice echoed from above, imbued with overwhelming power that silenced the entire gathering. Everyone present felt a shiver run through them as they recognized the authority of a true powerhouse. Both true immortals immediately reigned in their auras, their expressions growing more controlled. Even Jiang Chengxuan exchanged a look with Shen Ruyan, both feeling a sense of awe. The voice belonged to none other than a grand celestial being, showcasing the immense power behind the 10,000 Treasures Immortal Fair. This marked Jiang Chengxuan's first direct encounter with such a formidable entity in the celestial domain. It seemed the 10,000 Treasures Immortal Fair was even more formidable than they had imagined. HMPH, just you wait, the profound underworld immortal, unable to maintain his arrogance, snorted coldly before leaving in a huff. He knew the Scarlet Ridge immortal was determined to thwart his plans, and there was nothing he could do about it within the confines of the fair. "Thank you, Scarlet Ridge immortal, for your assistance. Long Cloud Sect will never forget this kindness." The white-browed cultivator exhaled in relief, bowing gratefully to the Scarlet Ridge immortal. The Scarlet Ridge immortal, exuding a sense of righteous pride, smiled and replied, "The profound underworld celestial sect's bullying has gone too far. I've had enough of them." He then added, "You only need to give me 2 true immortal-level herbs for this Nether Dao profound stone. I'll let you have it." This magnanimous offer earned nods and praise from the surrounding cultivators. Despite originating from the same sect, the Maple Sky and profound underworld celestial sects had vastly different approaches. "Thank you, Scarlet Ridge Immortal. I'm truly grateful." The white-browed cultivator was elated, quickly producing 2 fine true immortal herbs to exchange for the Nether Dao profound stone. With everyone looking on enviously, he approached Jiang Chengxuan, asking hopefully, "Fellow Taoist, will this suffice for your treasure?" "Yes, of course. Congratulations," Jiang Chengxuan responded without hesitation, laughing as he handed over the true immortal ancient dragon's reverse scale. He then received the floating sand, the 10,000 stars true essence, and the Nether Dao profound stone in return, completing the transaction to everyone's satisfaction. Over the following days, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan wandered the fair, traversing all 4 sections, east, south, west, and north. They witnessed countless rare treasures and materials, managing to gather everything they needed for their breakthroughs. Jiang Chengxuan acquired the materials required for his advancement to the Earth Immortal realm and the forging of his blessed land, while Shen Ruyan found the treasures necessary for her true immortal breakthrough. "This grand event truly lives up to its reputation," Jiang Chengxuan remarked as they strolled through the western section of the fair. "I never imagined we could find so many materials." "Yes, husband, this has indeed been a fruitful trip," Shen Ruyan replied, her smile reflecting their shared satisfaction. Initially, Jiang Chengxuan had hoped to find at least 2/3 of the materials he needed. He hadn't expected the fair's depth and variety to allow him to gather almost everything. While the search had depleted many of his resources, his status as an alchemist and the heaven-grasping bottle in his possession meant he could recover his stockpile with time. "Now only the 5 elements celestial stone remains," he mused aloud. This stone was essential for his foundational work in the Earth Immortal realm, with no suitable substitutes. Despite their thorough search of the fair, they had yet to find anyone holding this elusive material. "Husband, why don't we check the second layer of the fair?" Shen Ruyan suggested softly. Jiang Chengxuan nodded, having had the same thought. With information gathered from other cultivators, they soon found their way to the entrance of the second layer, located at the center of the fair's four main sections. Here stood a grand platform made of flawless jade, intricately carved with lifelike depictions of celestial mountains and spirits, exuding an air of opulence and grandeur. As they approached, the number of cultivators dwindled, with only a few figures seen in the vicinity. Entry to the second layer required meeting certain additional criteria, which centered around the central feature of the Jade platform. Without delay, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan ascended the steps, leaving their reflections on the luminous jade as they approached the top. Before them lay a tranquil pool, its surface like a mirror reflecting the entire Nine Clouds immortal mountain. "This must be the 10,000 treasures immortal pool," Jiang Chengxuan remarked, examining it closely. The pool, known as the 10,000 treasures immortal pool, evaluated the rarity of treasures placed within it. The more radiant the light it emitted, the higher the quality of the treasure. To access the second layer, a treasure must produce a 7-colored light, indicating the bearer's qualification. Curious, Jiang Chengxuan wondered what would happen if he placed his most precious item, the primal water and fire sword, into the pool. This thought intrigued him, prompting him to discreetly draw the sword from within his body. Instantly, a surge of power rippled through the platform, though Jiang Chengxuan suppressed it before it could escape. Shen Ruyan watched in surprise, her eyes wide. Jiang Chengxuan smiled reassuringly, then dipped the primal water and fire sword into the pool. Even this cautious action triggered a significant reaction. The platform trembled, and the once calm pool surface rippled before bursting into a display of colors akin to a rising rainbow. Within moments, the pool appeared to boil, with columns of water erupting dramatically. "What's happening?" exclaimed the nearby cultivators, their attention drawn to the commotion on the platform. Jiang Chengxuan quickly retrieved the sword, feigning ignorance as the others looked on. "I don't know what happened," he shrugged innocently. Shen Ruyan stifled a laugh, amused by her husband's playful side. Fortunately, the disturbance quickly subsided, causing no lasting issues. Soon, an attendant arrived to inquire about the situation. Jiang Chengxuan explained that he had placed a treasure in the pool, which had caused the reaction. The attendant, unable to find any fault, respectfully guided them to the entrance of the second layer, acknowledging their qualification. Sharing a smile, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan collected themselves before stepping through the spatial portal into the second layer. Bathed in a radiant glow, they found themselves in a new realm. High pavilions and grand halls, built atop towering mountains and shrouded in clouds, stretched before them. The structures, crafted from precious stones and emitting a kaleidoscope of colors, glowed like glass in the sunlight, surrounded by countless treasures and herbs, showcasing the opulence and elegance of the place. Within the second layer of the 10,000 treasures immortal fair, the celestial energy was even more abundant, hidden within multiple celestial arrays designed to condense and harness the energy. Scattered among the various pavilions were roughly 100 celestial beings, each adorned in luxurious attire and exuding celestial auras. When Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan entered, many eyes turned towards them. The aura of these onlookers, though restrained, was immensely powerful. Even Jiang Chengxuan, who had recently arrived in the profound underworld celestial domain, recognized several sect leaders among them. Most of these individuals held high positions within respectable celestial sects. Although they were curious about Jiang Chengxuan, they refrained from initiating conversation. They couldn't identify his status, and his unassuming demeanor led them to believe he wasn't of significant importance. Only a few nodded politely at him before resuming their discussion. For these high-ranking sect members, the second layer of the 10,000 treasures immortal fair was a place to foster intersect relationships. "Are the two esteemed guests here to trade treasures?" A servant of the fair approached Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan with a respectful bow. Jiang Chengxuan nodded. "I am looking for a treasure called the Five Elements Celestial Stone. Is there anyone here who possesses it?" He had been informed about the procedures of the second layer beforehand. Every trader had to register their treasures with the fair, making it easy to find specific items by asking the servants. "Allow me to check," the servant replied, retrieving a jade slip and scanning through its contents. After a few moments, he looked up with a somewhat apologetic expression. I regret to inform you that none of the esteemed guests on the second layer have brought a five-element celestial stone for trade. Jiang Chengxuan had anticipated this but still sighed in disappointment. The five-element celestial stone was essential for reaching the earth immortal realm. It was so rare that almost no one would trade it unless offered something of equal or greater value. Even Jiang Chengxuan's primal water and fire sword wasn't worth such a loss. "Dear husband," Shen Ruyan began, about to comfort Jiang Chengxuan when the servant's communication Jade lit up. He received a message and his demeanor became more formal. "Honored guest, our respected elder of the 10,000 Treasures Immortal Fair has information regarding the five-element celestial stone. He wishes to discuss it with you. Would you be willing to meet with him?" This sudden turn of events surprised Jiang Chengxuan. After a brief moment of contemplation, he nodded. The servant led them deeper into the second layer. As they walked through corridors illuminated by celestial light, Jiang Chengxuan pondered. The elder must be the earth immortal who had made an appearance earlier. But why had he taken an interest in Jiang Chengxuan, and why was he willing to help him obtain the five-element celestial stone? These questions occupied Jiang Chengxuan's thoughts until they reached their destination, a quaint water pavilion where a slightly portly elder sat. The elder, dressed in opulent clothing and holding a staff made of celestial wood, exuded an aura of wealth. "Welcome, esteemed guests," the elder said warmly, inviting them to sit. Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan bowed and took their seats. "Might I ask about the matter concerning the five-element celestial stone?" Jiang Chengxuan inquired directly. The elder stroked his white beard and smiled. "I saw your transaction in the eastern district of the fair. I deduced that you might be seeking the five-element celestial stone for your breakthrough to the earth immortal realm." This explanation eased Jiang Chengxuan's suspicions. The elder had no hidden agenda but was acting on a merchant's instinct, deducing Jiang Chengxuan's need from his transactions. This openness was a gesture of goodwill, indicating no deceit. "Indeed, the five-element celestial stone is rare and rarely traded. However, I do have information about its whereabouts." The elder's words were deliberate. Jiang Chengxuan's eyes narrowed. "What do you require in exchange for this information?" He knew there would be a price for such valuable information. The elder smiled, appreciating Jiang Chengxuan's straightforwardness. "To be honest, this is not a simple matter," the elder began. "The five-element celestial stone is rumored to be found in a dangerous place known as the Celestial Insect Valley. It is a perilous region, infested with powerful celestial insects that even true immortals avoid. I seek someone capable to retrieve a special treasure from there, a celestial insect core. In exchange, I will provide you with the detailed location and necessary information about the five-element celestial stone." Jiang Chengxuan listened intently. The task was dangerous, but the reward was invaluable. He exchanged a glance with Shen Ruyan, who nodded in silent agreement. "We accept," Jiang Chengxuan replied firmly. The elder's smile broadened. "Excellent. I will provide you with all the information you need. May fortune favor you on this perilous journey." With the terms agreed upon, the elder handed Jiang Chengxuan a jade slip containing detailed information about the Celestial Insect Valley and the five-element celestial stone. Equipped with this crucial intel, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan prepared to embark on their next great adventure. "Ha, straightforward indeed." The Earth Immortal Elder laughed heartily. His impression of Jiang Chengxuan improved significantly. Throughout the 10,000 Treasures Immortal Fair, he had been quietly gathering information about Jiang Chengxuan. He sensed Jiang Chengxuan's extraordinary potential, understanding that reaching the Earth Immortal realm for him was merely a matter of time and opportunity. Thus, he arranged this conversation to extend a gesture of goodwill. "Did you know that the number of Earth Immortal cultivators in the celestial realm is actually limited?" The elder's eyes narrowed, and his tone grew solemn, revealing a shocking secret that stunned Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan. "A limit? What do you mean, respected elder?" The two of them were puzzled, having never heard such information before. The Earth Immortal Elder began to elaborate. "In the celestial realm, the number of Earth Immortal cultivators is governed by celestial rules. The total number of Earth Immortal cultivators that the celestial realm can sustain is fixed. Once this number is reached, any aspiring Earth Immortal must wait for someone to fall or ascend further." This revelation left Jiang Chengxuan deeply contemplative. It hinted at a profound understanding of celestial mechanics. "So, the number of five-element celestial stones is also limited." After pondering for a while, Jiang Chengxuan asked, his voice calm but filled with realization. Exactly, the elder confirmed, nodding. The five-element celestial stone is a product of celestial rules, not something that can be crafted or replaced. It is essentially a tool used by the celestial order to maintain the number of Earth immortal cultivators. Jiang Chengxuan fully grasped this secret now. Cultivators reaching the Earth immortal realm must refine their own celestial territories, essentially seizing a piece of the world's creation force. If the celestial order didn't impose limitations, the number of Earth immortal cultivators could spike during a prosperous era, draining the celestial realm's resources. Thank you for enlightening me, Jiang Chengxuan said, bowing respectfully to the elder, appreciating the invaluable knowledge shared. And about the information on the five-element celestial stone. Haha, not to worry. The elder finally revealed what Jiang Chengxuan sought. According to our intelligence, a five-element celestial stone is likely to appear in the extreme northern region of the profound underworld celestial domain. Our investigations have confirmed this. Moreover, it is believed that the stone will emerge in the celestial insect valley. This intelligence excited Jiang Chengxuan. The elder indeed held crucial information about the stone's whereabouts. Such valuable information is worth its weight in gold, Jiang Chengxuan said, expressing his gratitude. If I manage to obtain this treasure, what does your esteemed fare require in return? I will do my utmost to fulfill it. He understood that the elder wouldn't offer such crucial information without expecting something in return. Ha, since you are so forthright, I'll be direct as well. If you acquire the five-element celestial stone, you need only give us a small portion of the surplus. The elder explained that a complete five-element celestial stone often had a small part left after an Earth immortal breakthrough. This leftover piece was what the 10,000 treasures immortal fair sought. Both Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan now understood. The deal was mutually beneficial and fair. If Jiang Chengxuan failed to obtain the stone, the information was worthless. But if he succeeded, the fair's gain was ensured. The elder's offer presented no downside for Jiang Chengxuan. Agreed, Jiang Chengxuan said with a smile, sealing the deal. Celestial Insect Valley. Located in the extreme north of the profound underworld celestial domain, it was an infamous, perilous region. Almost every cultivator in the domain knew of its existence. Legend had it that the valley was formed from the domain of a fallen ancient Earth immortal, becoming a haven for countless insect-type demon beasts. It was known as the holy ground for insect demons. Adventurous cultivators who braved the valley spoke of its horrors. They claimed the valley housed at least 2 Earth immortal-level insect demons and thousands of other insect demons. These accounts were verified by the high casualty rate among those who ventured in. The valley's infamy spread throughout the domain, striking fear into the hearts of many. So this is the Celestial Insect Valley, Jiang Chengxuan muttered, his eyes fixed on the ominous sight before him. A vast, deep gorge stretched out before him, filled with lush, wild celestial plants resembling a giant green maw. Eerie insect sounds echoed from within, sending chills down one's spine. The valley was riddled with deep crevices and chaotic burrows, exuding a wild and untamed aura. Insect demons were known for their low intelligence but extreme ferocity and combat prowess. Even among the demon clans, insect demons were often despised and avoided. Husband, this valley's aura rivals that of the depths of the western Black Sea, Shen Ruyan remarked. The Celestial Insect Valley was not as vast as the western Black Sea, but its dangers were equally significant. Unlike the Black Sea, entering this valley would immediately attract countless insect demons, likely resulting in an instant battle. Something's moving, Jiang Chengxuan warned, sensing an unusual disturbance nearby. Both of them heightened their senses, preparing for combat. But what emerged from the nearby forest was not an insect demon, but a familiar face. Wait, no harm intended, I mean no harm. The voice belonged to a figure in red and gold robes, whom Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan recognized. Red Ridge Immortal, Jiang Chengxuan asked, surprised to see the figure he had encountered before. The person before them was indeed the Red Ridge Immortal, who had once aided them at the 10,000 Treasures Immortal Fair. Didn't expect you two to remember me, the Red Ridge Immortal, smiling warmly, greeted Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan. His presence significantly eased the tense atmosphere. Given their previous encounter and mutual favorable impression, the conversation flowed more smoothly than it would have with a complete stranger. You too must be here for the opportunities within the Celestial Insect Valley, he continued. Coincidentally, we've gathered a group of cultivators to explore the valley. If you could join us, our chances of success would increase significantly. Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan were taken aback by this proposal. Could it be that the information about the 5-element celestial stone was already widespread? Had the 10,000 treasures immortal fair played them for fools? These questions raced through their minds. If the information was indeed common knowledge, then their agreement was worthless. Red Ridge Immortal, your proposal sounds excellent, Jiang Chengxuan said after a moment's thought. But before Red Ridge Immortal could celebrate, Jiang Chengxuan continued, however, I've been considering this matter carefully. Do you know what the treasure within the Celestial Insect Valley actually is? Jiang Chengxuan decided to probe Red Ridge Immortal for more details, suspecting that the widespread knowledge of the 5-element celestial stone might jeopardize their plans. We don't know exactly, Red Ridge Immortal replied without hesitation. We only sensed extraordinary auras and bursts of treasure light from within the valley. That's why we came here. Jiang Chengxuan's suspicions were alleviated by this response. He exchanged a glance with Shen Ruyan, both feeling relieved. It seemed these cultivators only knew of a general opportunity within the Celestial Insect Valley, not specifically about the 5-element celestial stone. If everyone knew about the stone, the so-called alliance would be fraught with hidden agendas, increasing the risk of exploring the valley. The stone's immense value would surely stir greed, and sharing it would render it useless for anyone trying to reach the Earth immortal realm. Very well, the more the merrier, Jiang Chengxuan said, bowing slightly. We are willing to join your group. Red Ridge Immortal's face lit up with joy. He knew Jiang Chengxuan's strength and potential from their brief encounter at the fair. Having such a powerful ally was undoubtedly beneficial. Red Ridge Immortal led Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan to the gathering spot of their team. In a secluded forest, 4 cultivators stood, their expressions solemn. Jiang Chengxuan quickly assessed their strength, excluding 1 female cultivator. The others were all at the true immortal level. 4 true immortals. This was a force capable of dominating a region within the profound underworld celestial domain. With Jiang Chengxuan joining, their group now boasted 5 true immortals, comparable to the top forces of some major sects. Red Ridge, who are these 2? One of the cultivators asked, surprised by the newcomers. These are Taoist Jiang and his companion Taoist Shen, Red Ridge Immortal explained. We met at the 10,000 Treasures Immortal Fair. They too are here for the Celestial Insect Valley, so I thought we could join forces. The other cultivators' eyes narrowed, but, trusting Red Ridge Immortal, they raised no objections. Jiang Chengxuan's presence was an asset. The valley, known for its perils, demanded more strength than they currently had. Welcome, sister, the female cultivator greeted Shen Ruyan warmly, stepping forward. Her attire matched Red Ridge Immortal's, indicating she was also from the Scarlet Heaven Immortal sect. Her friendliness stemmed from their shared sect and the presence of another female cultivator. Thank you, Shen Ruyan replied, engaging in conversation with the woman. Red Ridge Immortal, meanwhile, introduced Jiang Chengxuan to the remaining true immortals. Thanks to their smooth integration, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan quickly felt part of the team. Joining forces. With the team now complete, they finalized their plans. The group, comprising 5 true immortals and 1 powerful ascended immortal, was ready to brave the dangers of the Celestial Insect Valley. Each member understood the risks and rewards, and they prepared themselves for the challenges ahead. As they moved deeper into the forest towards the valley, their combined strength and resolve gave them confidence. The journey ahead was fraught with peril, but together, they hoped to uncover the treasures hidden within the mysterious and deadly Celestial Insect Valley. After a brief introduction, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan learned more about the other members of the team. The 2 older cultivators were elders from the Thick Earth Immortal sect, which had a good relationship with the Scarlet Heaven Immortal sect. The younger one was Qing Tian Immortal, a friend of Red Ridge Immortal, who had first detected the anomalies in the Celestial Insect Valley. We've arrived. Today is the Long Moon Day, Qing Tian Immortal announced as they reached the entrance of the Celestial Insect Valley after several days of waiting. According to Qing Tian Immortal, the valley experienced a phenomenon called the Long Moon Day at regular intervals. During this period, the insect demons within the valley performed a ritual to absorb the accumulated energy of the valley, making it the most relaxed time to enter. At this moment, Jiang Chengxuan and his group witnessed a remarkable sight. The entire celestial insect valley, from its vegetation to its bare earth, emitted a faint white glow. The previously dark and wild valley now looked like a pristine, snow-covered sanctuary, devoid of its former ominous aura. "Let's go," Qing Tian Immortal said, leading the group into the valley. The group, led by Qing Tian Immortal, who was the most knowledgeable about the valley, cautiously entered, concealing their presence as they advanced. The valley, with its narrow entrance, opened into a vast expanse filled with towering trees and jagged cliffs, now bathed in a pale, ethereal light. Even the demonic aura in the valley had transformed into silvery currents flowing through the air. "Be careful," Qing Tian Immortal warned. Using their formidable powers, the group easily detected the locations of various insect demons. However, due to the special long moon day, the demons were stationary, engaged in bizarre rituals resembling human worship. These creatures, with their massive bodies and numerous limbs, sat in strange postures, raising their limbs towards the ancient sky in a semblance of devotion. The eerie mimicry of human actions by these monstrous forms sent chills down their spines. "What an extraordinary aura," Jiang Chengxuan muttered, his gaze fixed on the enormous moon above the valley. It cast no light but emitted a strange Tao force, triggering the valley's white glow. This sight made Jiang Chengxuan ponder the valley's mysterious origins. Despite the intriguing scene, the group's focus remained on navigating the valley. Under Qing Tian Immortal's guidance, they moved towards the area with the most frequent anomalies. Along the way, they passed countless terrifying insect demons, all performing their rituals. The group held their breath, avoiding contact with the creatures, horrifying appendages and body parts. After bypassing several groups of demons, they encountered a grotesque sight that made everyone gasp. A large area was occupied by long, twisted creatures entangled with each other, their limbs weaving and writhing like a mass of wriggling tentacles. This grotesque dance seemed to be their ritual, creating a nearly impassable barrier. The creatures' movements slowly surrounded the group, cutting off their retreat. Everyone tensed, knowing that discovery would mean a battle against an endless swarm of demons. "Don't attack, leave it to me," Qing Tian Immortal said, drawing their attention. Under the group's watchful eyes, Qing Tian Immortal retrieved a treasure from a sachet. Infusing it with spiritual power, he released a faint yellow powder that spread in their intended direction. Chai chai. As the powder spread, the enormous demons instinctively moved away, creating a narrow path. Red Ridge Immortal praised Qing Tian Immortal's ingenuity, and the group quickly followed the path, their movements swift and silent. However, they soon faced another obstacle, a massive insect nest, seemingly made from the valley's soil and glowing with the same white light. Strange, spherical demons rolled in and out of the nest, blocking their path. "Should we go around?" one of the Thick Earth Immortal sect elders suggested. Qing Tian Immortal shook his head gravely. "The most crucial part of the valley is hidden underground. This nest is one of the entrances. If we don't go through here, we'll need to find another entrance, which could take a lot of time." The group's faces tightened with concern. The long moon day could end at any time, and their window of opportunity was precious. Moreover, there was no guarantee that other entrances would be less guarded. "If we must enter the nest, I believe I can help," Jiang Chengxuan suddenly said, drawing everyone's attention. Red Ridge Immortal, pleased by this development, asked, "What do you have in mind, Taoist Jiang?" Jiang Chengxuan explained calmly, "The biggest challenge in the nest is avoiding detection by the rolling demons. I can use my spatial powers to distort the space, creating hidden pockets for us to move through." One elder immediately objected, "Nonsense. We all know how to use spatial powers. The nest structure is infused with Taoist rules. It's not that easy to bypass them. Disturbing the space could alert the demons." Jiang Chengxuan smiled confidently. "I have a unique understanding of spatial manipulation. Let me try. If it doesn't work, we'll reassess." The group exchanged glances, eventually nodding in agreement. With a plan in place, they steeled themselves for the next phase of their perilous journey into the heart of the celestial insect valley. "Whether it works or not, there's no need to argue. We'll know once we try." In contrast to the agitated elder from the Thick Earth Immortal sect, Jiang Chengxuan remained calm and unperturbed. His words left the elder speechless, while Red Ridge Immortal and Qing Tian Immortal showed helpless expressions, trying to mediate. "No harm in trying any method. Indeed, with an opportunity like this, we should remain amicable." With these words, the two elders from the Thick Earth Immortal sect reluctantly fell silent. though they continued to glare at Jiang Chengxuan skeptically. They believed his plan to be childish and destined for failure, expecting an opportunity to mock him soon. In fact, as the older members of the group from the same sect, they sought to assert their dominance and viewed Jiang Chengxuan as the first target to make an example of. Buzz. However, as these thoughts occupied their minds, Jiang Chengxuan was already demonstrating his mastery of spatial manipulation. Without any visible light or flashy displays, he merely made a precise gesture in the air, creating a fine spatial crack. In the blink of an eye, this crack expanded, revealing a hidden space large enough to comfortably hide 7 people. Hiss. Red Ridge Immortal and the elders from the Thick Earth Immortal sect gasped inwardly, realizing that Jiang Chengxuan's control over space far surpassed their own. This concealed space was not only sufficiently hidden, but also spacious, showcasing Jiang Chengxuan's exceptional skills. Their faces turned pale, realizing that Jiang Chengxuan's display of power directly contradicted their doubts and indicated his formidable strength. Even if they were stubborn, they dared not oppose him further. Incredible, such a skillful use of space, Taoist Jiang, you truly are deep and unfathomable, Red Ridge Immortal exclaimed, while Qing Tian Immortal and others echoed his admiration. HMPH. The 2 elders from the Thick Earth Immortal sect could only snort coldly, retreating to the front of the group. Jiang Chengxuan, maintaining his composure, simply nodded to Red Ridge Immortal and Qing Tian Immortal before leading the group into the insect nest. The nest resembled a mountain with countless interconnected tunnels, the ground covered in sticky residues left by the insects. The air was filled with a continuous hum and the howling of wind, making the experience otherworldly. Here it comes. Boom! As they ventured deeper, a thunderous noise overhead caused everyone to look towards Jiang Chengxuan. Without hesitation, he activated his spatial powers, creating another hidden space for them. The group quickly stepped into the concealed area just as a massive shadow crashed into the passage above them. The monstrous creature, resembling a giant black sphere composed of countless wriggling worms, blocked the tunnel completely, its tentacle-like appendages thrashing about and emitting a foul demonic aura. Had Jiang Chengxuan not acted, they would have been detected and forced into battle. Inside the spatial pocket, the group held their breath, watching the grotesque insect demon search the area with its numerous eyes but failing to detect them. After a while, the creature moved on, allowing the group to re-emerge and continue their journey. Let's go. Without pausing, they pressed on, following Qing Tian Immortal deeper into the earth. Whenever they encountered danger, Jiang Chengxuan used his spatial manipulation to hide them, ensuring their safety. Eventually, they reached a deep chasm emitting a thick white glow, filled with mysterious and deadly energies. Hide your presence, we are going in. Despite their concerns, the group, driven by both fear and excitement, followed Qing Tian Immortal's instructions, blending their auras with the environment before leaping into the abyss. Buzz, buzz, buzz. As they descended, the overwhelming energy around them intensified, resonating with their very beings, leading them deeper into the unknown. In the midst of the radiant abyss, several waves of energy surged and mist billowed. In an instant, several massive shadows emerged from the insect nest, scanning the area but finding nothing. They soon returned to their worship of the bright moon. Enveloped in a mysterious energy, Jiang Chengxuan found himself in an incredibly serene state. But before he could fully comprehend it, the white light before him faded, revealing the underground immortal insect valley. Compared to the surface, this subterranean valley was much cleaner. It was still a world bathed in white, but the surrounding earth walls showed fewer signs of insect holes. Although called underground, this area was just as vast as the surface, only lacking a sky, which was replaced by dense white clouds. Vegetation here was sparse, with only various roots and stems resembling blood vessels clinging tightly to the earth walls in different colors. This unique sight left everyone in awe, marveling at this hidden world. However, upon entering the underground immortal insect valley, they quickly encountered their first problem. The intelligence provided by immortal tanking was insufficient. It could no longer guide them through the underground valley. This meant that from now on, they would have to rely on their own exploration. How do we find this opportunity? Asked one of the elders from the Thick Earth Immortal sect after a long silence. There's no choice but to search bit by bit, Immortal Tanking replied helplessly. The expressions of the 2 elders from the Thick Earth Immortal sect changed again, their eyes filled with dissatisfaction. Yet, having come this far, they couldn't give up. Abandoning the opportunity wasn't an option they were willing to accept. Haha, if we have to search on our own, so be it. At worst, we leave this place and give up the opportunity. What's the harm in that? Immortal Chilling tried to ease the tension, comforting everyone. The female cultivator from Fengtian Immortal sect also agreed, helping to stabilize the group's morale. Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan naturally remained silent. They had their own goals and would not leave so easily. However, they didn't plan to inform the others, hoping for a peaceful resolution. In silence and seriousness, the group focused on their search, delving deeper while avoiding various insect demons. The deeper they went, the stronger the insect demons became, with immortal-level entities becoming common. Unlike their counterparts on the surface who worshipped the bright moon, these insects crouched among the rocks, absorbing the surrounding white light with each breath. The mysterious white energy emanated from the Earth's veins in this underground realm. Here, the insect demons absorbed it naturally, without any need for rituals, revealing the power dynamics and relationships within the immortal insect valley. Crossing a deep underground river, the group reached the other side and surveyed their surroundings, their hearts heavy. It was their 10th day in the underground valley, yet they had found no clues regarding the opportunity. They had even faced a close encounter with an insect demon, nearly leading to disaster. If not for Jiang Chengxuan's timely use of spatial power to contain the commotion and allow the group to defeat the demon, they might have been driven out of the valley or surrounded by insect demons by now. Damn it, where is that opportunity? One of the elders from the Thick Earth Immortal sect could no longer maintain his composure under the continuous pressure, voicing his frustration. The high-stakes tension had taken its toll, and both elders were considering abandoning the quest. As sect elders, they had promising futures ahead of them, and risking everything for this opportunity seemed increasingly unwise. Elders, please calm down. After so much exploration, we are no longer afraid of the insect demons. Finding the opportunity is now a certainty, Immortal Chilling tried to reassure them. But this time, even Immortal Chilling's words failed to placate the elders. With stern expressions, they replied, "The white light here has dimmed significantly. The so-called day of the bright moon is likely ending. How can we continue then?" Their words echoed the group's worries, leaving even Immortal Chilling speechless. 10 days, let's search for another 10 days. If we still find nothing, we will leave. Immortal Tanking suggested after some thought, breaking the silence. Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan frowned at the proposal. The others, including Immortal Chilling, reluctantly agreed. The risks were indeed high, and without their current advantage, finding the opportunity and leaving unscathed would be impossible. Buzz, buzz. Suddenly, a disturbance came from the distant east. A wave of ancient, powerful energy spread across the land, reaching them. The group was startled, their spirits lifting. The energy was devoid of demonic aura, clearly not from the insect demons. There was only one possible explanation: the opportunity was there. Quick, go! Without hesitation, everyone concealed their presence and flew towards the source of the disturbance. Even Jiang Chengxuan felt a surge of excitement, wondering if the opportunity was the 5 elements immortal stone or something else. As they moved swiftly, the answer soon revealed itself. They noticed fewer insect demons in the area, which puzzled them until they saw the scene ahead. In a massive ring-shaped depression lay a colossal insect demon. Wrapped in golden light, it resembled a sun, exuding a mystical, holy aura amid the strange insect nest. "A golden cicada demon," Immortal Tanking exclaimed. This insect demon, a true immortal-level entity, was one of the rulers of the Immortal Insect Valley. It belonged to the golden cicada species, rumored to possess the bloodline of an ancient being, wielding both righteous and sinister powers. That is, the primal celestial pillar. Following Immortal Tanking's gaze, the group spotted the true nature of the opportunity, a winding, unadorned stone pillar standing in the depression like an ancient creation. Despite its plain appearance, the primal celestial pillar exuded an indescribable profundity under the true immortal-level senses of the group. It stood there silently, seemingly existing since ancient times, containing primordial power. "Unbelievable," Jiang Chengxuan muttered, surprised. Aside from the 5 elements immortal stone, there indeed existed other opportunities here. The primal celestial pillar was an extremely rare entity, hidden within the earth veins of the celestial domain, capable of appearing anywhere. It held ancient celestial power, and absorbing it could awaken one's ancient bloodline or directly bestow essential Taoist power. For any cultivator, these benefits were lifelong enhancements. Its value was so high that even earthly immortals would covet it. For the group, it was an opportunity beyond measure. In this seemingly inconspicuous place, deep within the immortal insect valley, a convergence of fates had gathered 6 true immortals. Hidden in the shadows, each of them stared at the golden cicada demon immortal and the primal celestial pillar, their eyes filled with shock and desire. Good, 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 all our hardships have not been in vain. Haha, if we can obtain this, our journey will have been worth it. That's great, Brother Chiliang. In the face of such a grand opportunity, the previous discord within the group vanished. The gaps caused by danger and uncertainty disappeared as well. The 2 elders from the thick earth immortal sect no longer mentioned leaving. Instead, they fixated on the primal celestial pillar with gleaming eyes. Hiss. However, the imposing presence of the golden cicada demon immortal deterred anyone from making a rash move. That's a molting. The golden cicada demon immortal is absorbing the power of the primal celestial pillar, Jiang Chengxuan noted, his eyes narrowing. His observation caused the others' excitement to freeze. They scrutinized the golden cicada demon immortal more closely. Beside the primal celestial pillar, the enormous golden insect body trembled slightly, golden light swirling around it. Strange ripples spread out, forming layers of gold-like material. This was clearly the molting behavior of an insect demon, indicating that the golden cicada demon immortal was undergoing an enhancement and evolution, undoubtedly fueled by the power of the primal celestial pillar. We can't let this demon waste the power of the primal celestial pillar. We must act now. The 2 elders from the thick earth immortal sect urged. Without waiting for the others, they exchanged a glance and erupted with their power. Boom! Their auras, undisguised and formidable, exploded out. The true immortal-level energy shook the heavens and the earth, causing a massive upheaval. This sudden turn of events startled everyone present and even shocked the enormous golden cicada demon immortal. In response, it manifested an endless golden light and ancient runes, unleashing a torrent of demonic energy that transformed the depression into a world of golden brilliance. Its cultivation level had clearly reached the pinnacle of true immortality, possibly even a half-step into the realm of earth immortals. Damn it, those fools! Immortal Tianqing cursed. He had not expected the 2 elders from the thick earth immortal sect to act so recklessly, showing more impulsiveness than the younger cultivators. Even immortal Chiliang gasped and glared in anger. He had been trying to accommodate the 2 elders' feelings all along, yet they still caused such chaos at this critical moment. Boom! But there was no time for reflection. In the Golden Depression, the 2 elders from the thick earth immortal sect had already unleashed their immortal treasures, embodying the power of their Tao principles and clashing with the golden cicada demon immortal, causing a terrifying commotion and storming currents to ravage the surroundings. Each elder wielded a massive immortal ruler, spanning the void with such immense power that cracks appeared in the fabric of space. Yet despite their might, the golden cicada demon immortal stood unfazed, its enormous golden eyes watching them like suns, its 2 massive forelimbs raised and effortlessly blocking the elders' heavy weapons, forged through countless rituals. The 2 elders turned pale, their hearts pounding. Enveloped in the aura of a peak true immortal, they, who were only mid-tier true immortals, felt a chill of dread, yet they did not panic. They knew that although their premature attack had angered Jiang Chengxuan and the others, the group would not abandon them. They had acted out of a desire not to miss this opportunity and to secure an advantage in the ensuing distribution of benefits. After all, despite their seniority, they had contributed little so far. Since we've started, we must finish this quickly, Immortal Tianqing said, frowning. He summoned his Tao principles and manifested his immortal treasure. A lotus lamp appeared, burning with a blue-white flame that flickered with images of multiple worlds. With a nod, Immortal Chiliang and the female cultivator from Fengtian Immortal Sect also unleashed their immortal treasures, enveloping themselves in dragon-like golden energy. Without hesitation, the 3 of them charged at the golden cicada demon immortal. Immortal Tianqing's lotus lamp flame expanded, spreading into a sea of fire that mirrored all things, its aura domineering. Immortal Chiliang and the female cultivator each wielded a sword, their energies intertwining through a shared Tao principle, igniting a crimson glow that tore through the golden brilliance enveloping the area. Zizizi. As the two terrifying forces converged, the golden cicada demon immortal found itself under direct assault from both sides. Because of this, the golden cicada demon immortal let out a sharp screech, intending to call its powerful insect generals, some of which were true immortal-level beings. If all the insect demons gathered, even with Jiang Chengxuan's presence, the battle's outcome would be uncertain. Lady, stay on the sidelines. Jiang Chengxuan finally decided to take action, no longer just observing. At the critical moment, he unleashed his astonishing power, waving his hands to release a vast ocean of spatial energy, resembling a monstrous tidal wave. His speed surpassed that of the screech's propagation. Buzz, buzz, buzz. In an instant, silvery brilliance spread, enveloping the entire area in a mysterious state. Once again, Jiang Chengxuan's inverted world manifested, dimming the golden cicada demon immortal's power and trapping it within the inner world. The piercing screech, just about to spread, abruptly stopped, and silence reigned. For a moment, the golden cicada demon immortal's large eyes narrowed, sensing danger. Among these people, there was someone whose strength matched its own. Demon, let's see how you escape today. Immortal chilling and the other spirits lifted. Their previous panic calmed as they continued their assault on the golden cicada demon immortal with renewed vigor. Boom! Even the golden cicada demon immortal couldn't ignore this. Its body, initially sprawled on the ground, rose to reveal its true form. It was like a golden mountain range rising from the earth, blocking out the sky and reaching the heavens. Numerous complex runes mixed with demonic energy transformed into dense clouds and tornadoes, shaking the world. Its broad wings unfolded, emitting waves of bizarre Tao principles, as if a black hole was forming, plunging the entire world into darkness. The endless golden light retracted, forming layers of barriers around the demon immortal. The attacks from immortal tanking and immortal chilling, filled with terrifying power, struck these barriers, causing golden light to surge like tides. The full power of a peak true immortal was unleashed, shattering space and causing chaotic energy flows to roar through the heavens and earth. Even Jiang Chengxuan had to concentrate fully to maintain the inverted sky curtain, not daring to slack off. Despite the formidable first wave of attacks, the result was less than satisfactory. The ancient runes and golden light barriers, empowered by the golden cicada demon immortal's bloodline, withstood the combined force of 4 true immortals. Immortal tanking, and immortal chilling's immortal flames scorched the golden barriers, but only melted them slowly. The next moment, under the astonished gazes of everyone, the golden cicada demon immortal let out an angry roar. Its wings flapped, launching a counterattack. The tyrannical immortal flames were instantly dispersed by immense power. The barriers formed by ancient runes and golden light twisted violently, expanding like a blazing glass star. The terrifying demonic energy, with a touch of destruction, rushed towards everyone, unavoidable. Despite their shock, immortal chilling and the others reacted swiftly, summoning their protective treasures. Some conjured circular mirrors, others created stone walls, and some called forth crimson barriers, enduring wave after wave of demonic bombardment, gritting their teeth and holding on. Before Jiang Chengxuan, Shen Ruyan also did not dare to be complacent. The power of the primordial divine thunder gathered behind her, forming a wheel of lightning that blasted out violently, directly facing the demonic energy. The formidable thunder crushed and devoured the golden torrent, opening a void path. Although she was only half a step into the true immortal realm, Shen Ruyan's displayed might rivaled that of a genuine true immortal. This scene left immortal chilling and the others flabbergasted. It was the first time they had seen Shen Ruyan unleash her power. They hadn't expected that the seemingly unassuming woman by Jiang Chengxuan's side hid such strength and potential. Miss Shen, especially the female cultivator from Fengtian immortal sect, whose heart was shaken. Although their realms were similar, her power was far inferior to Shen Ruyan's. Do not get distracted, keep attacking. Jiang Chengxuan, who had been silent for a while, suddenly commanded, his voice resonating through the battlefield. This order drew the golden cicada demon immortal's large eyes towards him. It knew that the most troublesome opponent was none other than Jiang Chengxuan. Before the others could act, beams of golden light shot from the demon's burning eyes, piercing through layers of spatial seals and reaching Jiang Chengxuan in an instant. In that split second, Jiang Chengxuan's vision was filled with endless golden runes. Even Shen Ruyan was caught off guard, exclaiming in surprise. The situation turned critical. If Jiang Chengxuan's inverted domain collapsed, the battle would undoubtedly swing in favor of the golden cicada demon immortal. Seeing this, even the two elders from the thick earth immortal sect, despite their discord with Jiang Chengxuan, were terrified, their eyes wide with fear. HMPH. Yet Jiang Chengxuan remained calm and composed. With a cold snort, his robes fluttered without wind, and the hidden formations activated, instantly deploying defenses capable of withstanding a true immortal's attack. Simultaneously, a mystical wheel appeared, radiating nine-colored light and unleashing the power of immortality. This was the might of the immortal treasure bestowed by the system, the eternal life wheel. Boom! In a flash, multiple forces collided, clashing and devouring each other. The violent energy and golden light exploded, shaking the heavens and earth, tearing open massive rifts. But ultimately, this surprise attack could not defeat Jiang Chengxuan. The entire realm remained under the inverted world's control. Moreover, the golden cicada demon immortal's premature strike created openings, quickly seized by immortal tanking and immortal chilling. The five of them launched a storm-like assault, pressing down the demon immortal with their combined might. The battle, once again turned by Jiang Chengxuan, now saw everyone working together seamlessly. With careful coordination and relentless attacks, they steadily maintained their advantage, putting the golden cicada demon immortal in a vexed and furious predicament. Although it was a peak true immortal, Jiang Chengxuan and the others had arrived just as it was trying to break through its bloodline. This made its power unstable, and thus, even against many true immortals, it struggled to hold its ground. The battle reached a fever pitch, transforming the area into a deep chasm. Residual Tao energy burned the air, leaving scars of void and chaos. After days and nights of relentless fighting, the tide began to turn. The once majestic golden cicada demon immortal's golden light dimmed, and its towering form was forced into the chasm, roaring in fury, fighting a losing battle. Facing 7 true immortals, the golden cicada demon immortal's resilience highlighted its formidable strength and terror. In the void above, the figures of the immortals burned with immortal power, like stars shining brightly, their explosive auras enveloping the area. After the fierce battle, although the golden cicada demon immortal had been suppressed, their own states were far from their peak. The 2 elders of the thick earth immortal sect had their immortal treasures battered and deformed. The previously straight immortal rulers were now twisted, constantly leaking dust of the earth Tao principles. Immortal Tanking's robes were charred black, his hair disheveled, and the immortal light lotus lamp in his hand was dim, its manifestations flickering between night and day. Immortal Chiliang and the female cultivator from Fengtian immortal sect were no better, with several of their immortal treasures shattered. The female cultivator's long fiery red hair was mostly destroyed, leaving her with a short-haired appearance. Only Jiang Chengxuan, who had been sustaining the entire inverted world and bearing the brunt of the golden cicada demon immortals and the others' violent energy, remained relatively composed. Though his aura had weakened slightly, he was still far more powerful and stable than the others present. This realization startled immortal Chiliang and the others, making them grateful. If they hadn't recruited Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan halfway, this so-called opportunity would have been beyond their reach. The demon's power is waning. Don't hold back. After a brief respite, immortal Tianqing gazed solemnly at the golden cicada demon immortal's menacing form and shouted to everyone, reigniting the battle. His body shone with immortal light and boundless immortal power erupted, surging to the heavens. Behind him appeared a dazzling 9-colored stream of light. This was an immortal artifact, a battle flag whose fluttering banner resembled a blend of the sky and clouds, radiating brilliance. It's the heavenly covering battle flag. Brother Tianqing is using his trump card. Seeing this, immortal Chiliang was stirred and couldn't help but exclaim. This battle flag was immortal Tianqing's most treasured possession, refined from a piece of celestial sky capable of growing in power, a fearsome immortal treasure. As immortal Tianqing's friend, immortal Chiliang was well aware of its might. Under this flag, true immortal souls had perished. Heavenly cover extinguished the sun. The next moment, under the shocked gazes of everyone, immortal Tianqing unleashed his full power. Grasping the heavenly covering battle flag, he waved it, and in an instant, a colorful sky descended like a continent to suppress everything below. The power it contained surpassed that of an ordinary true immortal, reaching near the earth immortal level. ZZZ, the golden cicada demon immortal screeched sharply in response. Recognizing the terror of this technique, it did not dare to slack off. Half-step Earth immortal power manifested. Countless golden runes fluttered like snowflakes, instantly filling the space. Before anyone could react, the golden runes coalesced and with a flap of the demon's wings, surged forward like an avalanche. Boom! In just a breath, the entire sky was filled with these two forces. Every particle of air was saturated with violent energy. Amidst deafening roars, it seemed as if two invisible giants were grappling, one covered in golden runes and the other emanating nine-colored light. Both were relentless, bringing terrifying destruction, stirring up storms and churning chaotic power. Quick, attack! Amidst this, immortal Tianking's face contorted with rage as he shouted. Despite using his trump card, he couldn't defeat the golden cicada demon immortal alone. To subdue it completely, everyone's combined effort was necessary. O heaven and thick earth, grand burial of the immortals. The two elders of the thick earth immortal sect, aware of the situation's gravity, didn't hesitate. Their eyes filled with ferocity, they threw their nearly ruined immortal rulers into the air. The rulers twisted and expanded crazily, transforming into massive immortal stones that crashed down. In an instant, it was as if a mountain range was collapsing, the stones forming a torrent that turned into a meteor belt, pressing down on the demon. The two elders practiced the same source of attack method, making this a joint divine ability. This strike was extremely formidable, approaching the pinnacle of the true immortal realm. Boom! Instantly, the battlefield's dynamics shifted. The intertwining golden runes and colorful sky were forcibly joined by a meteor belt. The immense fragmented immortal light and stones coiled like a giant dragon, tightly binding the golden cicada demon immortal, squeezing it fiercely. Amidst the sounds of space shattering, sparks flew and golden fragments scattered. Zzz. This strike inflicted immense pain on the true immortal level demon, causing it to howl in agony. Its eyes burned intensely as it frantically beat its iron-like wings, unleashing a storm-like barrage on the stone dragon binding it. Boom, boom, boom. In an instant, countless strikes erupted. Amidst thunderous roars, lightning spread from the clash, flickering incessantly. The battlefield had reached its most intense and explosive moment since the fight began. The opportunity that seemed within reach drove everyone into a frenzy, willing to do anything to slay the golden cicada demon immortal. Maple fire heaven. In the final moment, immortal Chiliang, seeing the increasingly weakened golden cicada demon immortal, finally made his move after a long preparation. He and the female cultivator soared into the sky, seeming to traverse the heavens, wielding their immortal swords and drawing mystical trajectories. In an instant, the entire sky was stained red with sharp sword intent, resembling a forest of maples reflected in the void. The next moment, their eyes gleamed with cold light, and they thrust their swords forward, their bodies following. The maple forest illusion, created by immortal power, sword intent, and Tao principles, transformed from stillness to motion. Over 1,000,000,000 sword intents overlapped into a deep crimson point. The trajectory of this attack was so obscure that even Jiang Chengxuan could barely discern it. Immediately, a terrifying force erupted from the golden cicada demon immortal's shell. This strike pierced through space and chaos, landing squarely on the golden cicada demon immortal. Even its sturdy exoskeleton couldn't provide any resistance. The sudden damage caused the powerful demon to emit its loudest screech. Over 1,000,000,000 sword intents and Tao principles pierced its body like steel needles, continuously destroying its internal energy. Meanwhile, the divine powers from immortal Tianking and the elders of the thick earth immortal sect continued to devour its demonic power. At that moment, even the golden cicada demon immortal felt the threat of death. Buzz. But just as immortal Chiliang and the others' eyes shone with anticipation, thinking victory was at hand, an unexpected change occurred. From the location of the golden cicada demon immortal, a mysterious wave of energy burst forth. The previously dim golden light suddenly flared to its peak, as it had been at its strongest. But more importantly, following this surge of power, everyone present, even Jiang Chengxuan, could no longer sense the presence of the golden cicada demon immortal. It was as if it had suddenly vanished into thin air. Boom! The divine powers of immortal Tianking and the others, having lost their target, crashed into the deep pit, causing violent tremors and shaking. When the chaotic energy dispersed, the golden cicada demon immortal's figure was no longer in the pit, much to the horror of the onlookers. All that remained was a massive, radiant golden exoskeleton, as beautiful as a glass sculpture. What happened? Where's the demon? The two elders of the Thick Earth Immortal sect asked frantically, their eyes filled with panic. Immortal Chilling and the female cultivator retracted their powers, equally stunned and speechless. They were so close to victory, only to have the golden cicada demon Immortal escape at the last moment, rendering all their efforts futile. "It's the cicada shedding divine art," Immortal Tanking said gravely, staring at the group. His words reminded everyone of the legends surrounding the golden cicada species. It was said that during the process of transforming into demons, if they awakened their ancient bloodline, they might acquire the ability to shed their shells. This bloodline ability allowed the golden cicada to escape into a mysterious dimension, evading all powers. Damn it, just one step away. Sigh. At this thought, everyone felt even more exhausted, helpless, and angry. Even Immortal Chilling, known for his composure, couldn't help but sigh. No matter. The opportunity is still here, and we don't know when the golden cicada demon Immortal will return. Let's take the primal heaven pillar and leave quickly. At this time, two powerful figures approached from the sky. Jiang Chengxuan's calm voice reached everyone's ears. Right, the golden cicada demon Immortal may not have time to summon other demon insects. We must take the primal heaven pillar and leave immediately. Immediately, Immortal Chilling and Immortal Tanking agreed. Things hadn't reached the point of despair yet. No time to lose. With renewed determination, everyone quickly flew to the primal heaven pillar. The ancient stone pillar, resembling a cosmic star, stood quietly, exuding mysterious and unknown power. Just standing near it made them feel their hearts and minds leap, as if something inside them was awakening. Boom, boom, boom. But this was no time to comprehend its power. Before the primal heaven pillar, they didn't hesitate, using their powers to separate it from its place, breaking it into equal parts and storing the primal heaven stones in their pouches. Although the primal heaven pillar contained precious and mysterious power, its substance was no different from ordinary profound stones. At this critical moment, no one dared to argue about the distribution. With Jiang Chengxuan's formidable presence, who would dare speak out if he remained silent? "Let's go!" Without hesitation, Jiang Chengxuan gathered his power, and the inverted world gradually returned to normal. Their figures turned into swift, multicolored streaks of light, rapidly heading back the way they came. Unseen by the others, Jiang Chengxuan secretly released several silver figures, hiding them in the battlefield with the golden cicada demon Immortal. On their escape route, Jiang Chengxuan and the others no longer concealed their auras, unlike their cautious approach when they infiltrated. Along the way, they mercilessly killed any obstructing demon insects. Even those as powerful as immortals fell to their relentless attacks. The group did not allow any delays. Roar, squeak. Behind them, an incredibly terrifying number of demon insects had gathered. Crawling on the ground, swimming in the water, flying in the sky, and traversing the void, all sorts of grotesque and monstrous beings roared and charged at the intruders in the celestial insect valley. Under the dim moonlight, the massive army of black demon insects appeared like waves with countless limbs and feelers. Accompanied by sharp cries and overwhelming demonic energy, they destroyed everything in their path. Among them were even true immortal-level beings. Roar, above a surging dark river, a massive black figure with countless sharp teeth lunged at them, courting death. Instantly, Immortal Chilling and Immortal Tanking's killing intent flared. They unleashed their immortal power, reducing the enormous demon insect to fragments, its body fluid splattering. They had lost count of how many demon insects they had slain, perhaps thousands, tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands. After leaving the golden cicada demon Immortal's nest, they continued to flee, but the complexity of the celestial insect valley and the sheer number of demon insects slowed their pace. Meanwhile, the number of demon insects gathering grew exponentially, with thousands or even tens of thousands joining every second. Almost there, the exit is close. While slashing at the surrounding demon insects, Immortal Chilling encouraged. They had broken through the ground of the celestial insect valley and were now approaching the final stretch. With their senses, they could already feel the aura outside the celestial insect valley. Perhaps in just half a quarter of an hour, they could escape with the opportunity and leave unscathed. However, just as excitement filled their hearts, a lingering sense of unease turned into reality. From the dense forest ahead, a menacing, colossal shadow appeared, blocking their path. Its power was restrained, but there was no doubt it was a terrifying presence, on par with the golden cicada demon Immortal. Another true, immortal-level insect demon. Just as the group was about to succeed and retreat, such a formidable presence suddenly appeared. The massive shadow crossed the sky, its explosive aura forcing everyone to halt. The two elders from the thick earth immortal sect exclaimed in shock. Hearing this, the others also looked grim, clenching their fists. They knew that their hopes of leaving unscathed today were now shattered. Roar! Seeming to sense their arrival, the new insect immortal's towering figure moved resolutely and eerily, like a mountain. The void spanning thousands of miles under its feet seemed like an illusion. In just a few breaths, it stood before them. Its 8 eyes, like blood moons, burned with a crimson flame, looking down from above. The red light covered everyone, exuding an icy killing intent. It's the demon spider immortal. In an instant, Immortal Tianking spoke heavily, revealing the true identity of the demon immortal. It had 8 legs, resembling black spikes, piercing the ground and corroding it into patches of marshland. The pitch-black, sinister demonic aura was filled with deadly poison. Its enormous form was no less than that of the golden cicada true immortal. Thousands of miles were but a few strides for it, showcasing its colossal size. Be careful. Without waiting for further thought, the demon spider immortal opened its blood-red maw, spitting out a massive blood-red beam at them. As it passed, the void twisted strangely, tainted with traces of crimson due to the poisonous Tao principles it contained. Everyone felt a chill in their hearts, not daring to confront the attack directly. They immediately scattered, activating their immortal powers to dodge. Boom! The attack struck the ground with a violent explosion, dissolving a large area into a boiling crimson swamp. However, this assault inadvertently assisted Jiang Chengxuan and his group. The vast army of pursuing insect demons, intimidated by the demon spider immortal's power, dared not advance further and kept their distance, watching from afar. Since a major demon was involved, especially one as notorious as the demon spider immortal in the celestial insect valley, the ordinary insect demons naturally refrained from acting rashly, fearing to provoke it. Boom, boom, boom. Amidst this, the demon spider immortal's onslaught did not cease. Its 8 eyes continuously fired crimson beams, countless poisonous attacks raining down like a meteor shower, engulfing the entire area. Every moment, vast regions were corroded into swamps, a terrifying sight. The group struggled to dodge, occasionally summoning immortal treasures to deflect the attacks. However, under the demon spider immortal's relentless assault, each block left their treasures dimmer, indicating the poisonous Tao principles' inescapable effects. Having fled and fought desperately along the way, especially after the battle with the golden cicada demon immortal, everyone was far from their peak condition. Now facing the well-prepared demon spider immortal, they were clearly on the losing end. Soon, under the barrage of its attacks, one of the elders from the thick earth immortal sect was struck by a blood-red beam, letting out a harrowing scream. His arm turned fiery red, like a branding iron with 2 forces, one yellow and one red, intertwining within. With a loud bang, the elder's arm exploded, blood-red light mixed with flesh splattering, the sinister Tao principles forming tiny blood-glass spiders crawling from the wound, a horrifying sight. Even then, the residual poison continued to erode the elder's power, causing his face to flush and pale alternately, his aura unstable. Buzz! The demon spider immortal, showing its brutal nature, seized the moment of his injury, raising its spike-like leg to pierce through the void. In a blink, before anyone could react, the black blade slashed through the crimson sky, piercing through the elder's chest. His screams abruptly ended, slain instantly. 2 different poisonous Tao principles deeply corroded his immortal body. Within a few breaths, the elder from the thick earth immortal sect was reduced to a puddle of blood, swiftly consumed by the demon spider immortal as nourishment. In just a short time, one of the 7 had fallen. This scene struck fear into everyone's hearts, especially the remaining elder from the thick earth immortal sect who cried out in grief. The 2 were longtime friends, closer than kin, yet now separated by life and death. Demon, meet your end. Enraged, the surviving elder from the thick earth immortal sect roared, casting his immortal treasure, transforming it into a 9-colored mountain, pressing down on the demon. The demon spider immortal remained unfazed, lifting its 2 front legs to stab through the void like black lightning. Boom! With a thunderous crash, the mountain, almost as large as the demon itself, was effortlessly halted. The 2 black legs stood firm like pillars, unwavering. The elder from the thick earth immortal sect felt a surge of despair at the sight of the demon's terrifying power. Before he could react, countless sharp spikes erupted from the black giant leg of the demon spider immortal. These spikes transformed into a torrential rain under a mystical energy wave. "Be careful!" Red Ridge Immortal and the others shouted, preparing their immortal power to rescue the elder. They couldn't afford to lose another ally. Buzz! However, before they could act, a stunning five-colored divine light pierced through the sky, striking first. The divine light, like a dragon, swept through the void, wiping out all the black spikes in a dazzling display of power. Everyone was shocked and turned to see Jiang Chengxuan, radiant with divine light, taking action. "Let me deal with this demon immortal." Facing the astonished looks from the others, Jiang Chengxuan spoke calmly. Now that he no longer needed to maintain the reverse world, he wouldn't stand by and watch the demon spider immortal continue its slaughter. Boom! In the next moment, Jiang Chengxuan activated his technique, unleashing his aura without reservation. The powers of the five elements, reincarnation and life and death Tao principles intertwined, instantly enveloping the area with layers of formidable visions. The terrifying power not only surprised Red Ridge Immortal and the others, but also forced the demon spider immortal to retract its leg and take a defensive stance. Its 8 blood-red eyes grew serious as it looked at Jiang Chengxuan. A true immortal at the peak, half a step into the celestial realm, such an opponent could not be underestimated. Taoist Jiang. This scene brought immense hope to Red Ridge Immortal and the others. Throughout the journey, Jiang Chengxuan had mostly supported the battle with his domain. This was their first time witnessing his true combat prowess. Clearly, he was not inferior to the demon spider immortal, equally terrifying in power. Roar! Facing Jiang Chengxuan's pressure, the demon spider immortal couldn't suppress its ferocity and attacked first. With a roar, it stood on 2 legs, while the remaining 6 limbs attacked relentlessly. In an instant, the entire sky was filled with demonic power, black clouds brewing. The 6 legs, like 6 poison-emitting black dragons, slashed towards Jiang Chengxuan. The void was torn open with 6 massive rifts, the sinister poison twisting everything before Jiang Chengxuan's eyes. Jiang Chengxuan's eyes narrowed, reacting swiftly. Layers upon layers of spatial waves surged from under his feet, expanding infinitely. The silver spatial power acted like invisible giant hands, manipulating the void. Massive silver spatial waves arose, covering the sky, surging forth to suppress the attack. The 2 forces, each warping everything and twisting the heavenly principles, collided, causing the heavens and earth to lose color. The dazzling light from the explosion was blinding, forcing everyone to shut their eyes. The sound of the void shattering and deafening thunder filled their ears. The terrifying shockwaves, mixed with storms, swept across thousands of miles. Many lower-level insect demons watching from afar were instantly pulverized, unable to escape in time. For a moment, countless true immortal-level insect demons were filled with trepidation and uncertainty. Such power, if faced alone, would mean instant death. What formidable power! Even Red Ridge Immortal and the others were shaken. The shockwaves forced them back 100 miles. Thick earth desolate sky halberd arise. In the battlefield, Jiang Chengxuan was fully focused, immersed in the battle. He gathered his immortal power around him, merging the 3 Tao principles to form a barrier against the poison. He then wielded the thick earth desolate sky halberd, channeling the power of countless stars, and launched an attack at the towering black immortal spider. Under the amplification of the immortal beast core, his power was equal to that of any demon beast. As he swung the halberd, the void shattered and chaotic energy surged forth. The combination of the upgraded true, immortal-grade thick earth desolate sky halberd and Jiang Chengxuan's terrifying power struck the black leg of the demon spider immortal with a resounding boom. Roar! This attack was executed flawlessly in both speed and angle. Caught off guard, the demon spider immortal's black leg twisted under the blow, emitting a piercing howl. Its massive body swayed in the void, causing tremors. This was Jiang Chengxuan's first full-strength strike since stepping into the half-step celestial realm, and its power was overwhelming. In a direct confrontation, he repelled the previously unstoppable demon spider immortal in an instant. However, one strike alone was not enough to decide the battle. The demon spider immortal quickly regained its footing, its 8 eyes burning with a fiercer blood-red flame. It unleashed its full demonic power, stirring a poisonous, frigid wind that howled through the void. The entire world seemed to turn into a prison, with invasive energy seeking to infiltrate everyone. This was undoubtedly one of the demon spider immortal's terrifying divine powers. Even those like Shen Ruyan, forced back hundreds of miles, felt their strength being eroded. Jiang Chengxuan at the center faced the full brunt of the attack. Surrounded by the eerie demon wind, he felt his immortal power being hindered. Maintaining a solemn expression, he knew this attack was formidable. With a wave of his hand, the reincarnation Tao principle surged behind him, manifesting countless visions of life and death cycles, stars being born and destroyed. In an instant, mountains and seas reversed, and the world turned upside down. The invisible energy covered the realm, and a mystical azure color spread through the void. The demon wind, under this power, was blown back into the demon spider immortal. The invasive energy, trying to infiltrate Jiang Chengxuan, vanished in the reversal. This was Jiang Chengxuan's divine power, the reincarnation reversal, capable of twisting the rules of the world to his will. Clearly, in this exchange, Jiang Chengxuan had the upper hand. "Submit to me." With the reincarnation reversal, Jiang Chengxuan's pressure lightened. Without hesitation, he wielded his immortal treasure again. This time, the thick earth-desolate sky halberd transformed into the Jiangjin void sword in a flash of celestial light. A golden river shot from Jiang Chengxuan's hand, slicing through the void towards the massive body of the demon spider immortal. The demon spider immortal hesitated, but its reaction was swift. Its 8 legs danced nimbly, dodging Jiang Chengxuan's strikes repeatedly. From a distance, it looked as if the demon spider immortal was performing a bizarre dance, which seemed almost comical. Yet, this dance masked a deadly duel between 2 half-step celestial beings, with each movement containing lethal intent. Roar! In the intense clash, the demon spider immortal realized the terror of Jiang Chengxuan's power. It no longer sought to dominate and instead emitted a piercing cry that echoed through the heavens. Roar! Chirp! In response, countless insect demons roared and screeched, answering the call. The insect demon army, previously watching from afar, now surged forward without hesitation. Sharp limbs moved through the void, forming a massive black tide. The myriad insect demons, like an avalanche, swept towards them. In the crucial moment, even the demon spider immortal had to call for reinforcements. The overwhelming crisis loomed over everyone once again. Compared to the insect demon army, they were like mere grains of sand. Before Shen Ruyan, Red Ridge Immortal, the female cultivator from Fengtian Immortal Sect, Sky Clear Immortal, and the elder from Thick Earth Immortal Sect, a tsunami of countless insect demons approached in an instant. The terrifying momentum made even the true immortals' hearts skip a beat. These countless insect demons included those at the immortal level, and even some at the true immortal level. Not to mention, their sheer numbers and their fearless madness posed a significant threat. The insect demons' supernatural abilities contained lethal destructive power, and even the lower-level ones could still inflict damage. Most importantly, this time, Jiang Chengxuan was not there to assist them. They could only rely on their strength to repel the insect demon tide, hoping that Jiang Chengxuan could quickly defeat the demon spider immortal and open a path for their escape. Attack and suppress. Red Ridge Immortal roared, his eyes bloodshot and his red hair flying. Without waiting for his words to fall, everyone had already unleashed their immortal power, each summoning their immortal treasures and standing ready. After the fall of the elder from Thick Earth Immortal Sect, they discarded any illusions of luck, knowing they were in a life-and-death situation and had to go all out. Sky Clear Immortal stood at the front, facing the oncoming insect demon army. Once again, he summoned the Sky Clear Lotus Lamp, pinching his fingers to conjure a ball of clear blue flame and throwing it out. In an instant, blue sky and white clouds manifested in front of the insect demon army, appearing as a giant mirror reflecting the sky. However, as the insect demons approached, they found it to be an incredibly terrifying flame that instantly engulfed them, turning them to ashes amid screams, spreading the fire throughout the army. The eerie blue flames danced on countless insect demons, creating fragments of worlds and halting the insect demons' charge. Roar! Seeing this, a general among the insect demons immediately took action. It was a massive, bull-like insect demon. It raised its head high and smashed it forward, causing the ground to crack and the void to shatter. With a thunderous roar, it crushed the burning insect demons on its side, using brutal means to stop the spreading fire. Roaring again, The insect demon army, undeterred by fear, continued their black tide-like assault. This cruel scene startled everyone. These insect demons, though not highly intelligent, formed an iron-blooded army. Once their instincts were triggered, their minds were filled only with killing and bloodlust. They would attack without hesitation, even against their kind. Thunder Command, Rise of the Wind. Among the group, Xianxia, who was in the best condition, finally took action. With a commanding shout, her powerful aura burst forth, her immortal power infused with primordial qi, reaching the sky and matching that of a true immortal. In her hand, she held an ancient command token, manifesting the Wind Tao principle. Thunder roared in the void, and a massive tornado, enveloped in primordial light, formed and swept towards the insect demon army. Even before it reached, the terrifying wind tore apart many insect demons, exploding them into strange blood mist. The bull-like true immortal insect demon dared not underestimate the approaching storm, sensing its formidable power. Boom, boom, boom. At this signal, all the cultivators launched their attacks. Red Ridge Immortal and the female cultivator from Fengtian Immortal sect combined their swords, creating a crimson domain where sword intent rained down, piercing the void and killing numerous insect demons. The elder from Thick Earth Immortal sect, channeling his grief into strength, manifested his law phase, a giant formed from mountains, cloaked in 9-colored immortal light. Each punch and kick shook the heavens and earth. The battle commenced. Facing the seemingly endless insect demons, each cultivator went mad, unleashing their destructive power. Every second, hundreds or thousands of insect demons fell, only to be quickly replaced by more. The insect demons, terrifying reproductive ability surpassed any other beast. In the immortal insect valley, each insect demon was stronger, making their vast numbers even more deadly. Meanwhile, in another part of the battlefield, Jiang Chengxuan's battle with the demon spider immortal had reached its climax. The demon spider immortal continuously displayed more of its bizarre abilities in response to Jiang Chengxuan's terrifying power. Now the demon spider immortal had transformed into a new form. On its back, a projection-like presence appeared, an identical clone of itself. Under this pressure, Jiang Chengxuan faced double the challenge. The clone had nearly identical abilities to the demon spider immortal, a truly terrifying bloodline power. In the void, 16 massive legs danced, hidden within the black demonic wind. The 16 black peaks moved like the limbs of an indescribable entity, slicing through the void with each motion and emitting a sharp, chilling sound. Jiang Chengxuan, wielding the Zhengjin Void Sword and channeling the powers of the 5 elements Tao, Reincarnation Tao, and Life and Death Tao, was locked in a fierce battle. Constantly manifesting various divine abilities, he managed to hold his own against the formidable foe. Navigating through the black peaks, Jiang Chengxuan seemed like a puppet in the grasp of some unseen force. Each clash was perilous, fraught with danger and suspense. Roar! Reclaiming the upper hand, the demon spider immortal roared triumphantly. Being inherently cruel, it had already devised a sinister plan, to turn Jiang Chengxuan and his companions into half-dead puppets, using them as breeding grounds for its offspring, condemning them to a fate worse than death. HMPH. If this is all you've got, then it's time to end this. But just as the demon spider immortal was indulging in its dark fantasies, Jiang Chengxuan's calm voice cut through the thick demonic energy as he maneuvered. Having discerned the full extent of the demon spider immortal's abilities, he decided it was time to conclude the battle. At his words, the demon spider immortal felt an inexplicable chill, sensing an imminent catastrophe. Instinctively, it concentrated all its demonic power into its 16 eyes. In an instant, it seemed as though 16 blood moons had risen, their crimson glow dominating the sky, casting an eerie light over the world below and instilling dread in everyone. The oppressive red light enveloped everything, making the ongoing battle with the insect demon army even more terrifying. The 16 blood moons transformed the sky into a blood-red expanse, heralding an apocalyptic scene that froze the air. What terrifying power! Jiang Dayu, you must hold on. Witnessing this, Red Ridge Immortal and the others could only pray silently, knowing the battle had reached its climax. If Jiang Chengxuan failed, their only option would be to scatter and flee, hoping to evade the powerful insect demons. The chances of survival were slim, with only one person likely to escape the insect valley. Only Shen Ruyan remained unwavering, wielding the primordial divine thunder with determination, slaying the attacking insect demons. She believed her husband would not disappoint her. A mere half-step earth immortal insect demon was not enough to challenge him. At the closest point to the 16 blood moons, Jiang Chengxuan's expression remained calm. The oppressive energy tried to suppress his Tao powers, causing the void to crack under the immense pressure. Escape was not an option. Boom, boom, boom. In the next moment, the demon spider immortal, no longer hesitating, unleashed its condensed demonic power in a frenzied attack. The world was shrouded in a red mist, with 16 crimson rivers crossing the sky. Each beam carried the power to annihilate a true immortal, converging on a single, seemingly insignificant figure, Jiang Chengxuan. Despite facing such apocalyptic force, Jiang Chengxuan did not waver. Under countless watchful eyes, he sheathed the Zhengjin Void Sword and summoned a radiant divine light from within. Reaching into the light, he drew out a uniquely shaped sword, intertwined with red and blue, exuding a primordial glow. The sword, a masterpiece of primordial energy, captivated everyone, even threatening to ensnare their minds. Though it displayed no overt power, its presence was undeniable, surpassing any known immortal treasure. Could this be an Earth immortal level treasure? Skyclear Immortal, usually composed, could not help but exclaim. Hearing this, Red Ridge Immortal and the others were equally astounded, feeling their mouths go dry. An Earth immortal level treasure, the product of the heavens, was exceedingly rare, even among Earth immortal elites. Moreover, Jiang Chengxuan wielded a sword, an offensive treasure, making it even more extraordinary. Such an artifact was a rare sight, even to someone of Red Ridge Immortal's standing. With the primordial water-fire sword in hand, the world seemed to transform. Pure primordial energies emanated from the sword, sweeping away the demonic winds and purifying the surroundings. The 16 crimson rivers became anomalies in this sanctified space. As the crimson beams neared, Jiang Chengxuan swung the primordial water-fire sword. A red and blue curtain split the sky, cutting through the crimson rivers. The terrifying Tao energies were extinguished or ignited by the primordial fire, neutralizing the deadly attack. In an instant, the lethal strike was nullified, and the primordial water-fire sword's momentum carried on, slashing towards the terrified demon spider immortal. Boom! The clash was monumental, freezing time and space. The divine light of primordial energy overwhelmed the demon spider immortal's defenses, disintegrating its massive form. The once formidable creature was reduced to unrecognizable remnants and ashes, like a charred tree, a testament to its former terror. Silence fell across the battlefield, as the surviving insect demons, cowed by the display of absolute power, ceased their roars and attacks. Red Ridge Immortal and the others, stunned by the sudden end, could only gulp in disbelief at the unimaginable power they had witnessed. "Let's go," Shen Ruyan said proudly, looking at Jiang Chengxuan with a smile. Her words snapped everyone back to reality, and they followed her through the battlefield's fissures to Jiang Chengxuan's side. At this moment, standing on the battlefield ruins of the immortal Insect Valley, Jiang Chengxuan held the Teichu water-fire sword, his posture erect, and his robes fluttering without wind. Under the backdrop of the crimson and azure sky, he seemed like an otherworldly being. Standing atop the charred corpse of the demon spider immortal, he exuded an aura that deterred the countless insect demons, who dared not advance, fearing instant annihilation by his hand. Husband! Crossing through the smoldering ruins, Shen Ruyan was the first to reach Jiang Chengxuan's side, calling out to him. Seeing him safe and sound, her final worries were finally put to rest. Although she had utmost confidence in him, the gravity of the situation had inevitably caused her some anxiety. "I'm fine," Jiang Chengxuan replied, gradually retracting his aura, and turned to Shen Ruyan with a gentle smile, as if slaying the demon spider immortal was a trivial matter. This scene caused the arriving Red Ridge Immortal and others to pause, their minds still reeling from shock. They did not immediately address Jiang Chengxuan, but first looked at the ground beneath them. There lay the charred corpse of the demon spider immortal, resembling a twisted, towering tree incinerated by a great fire. Even from the remaining aura, they could still sense its terrifying power from when it was alive. A half-step Earth immortal level being had truly perished, its soul utterly extinguished. Even though they had witnessed the entire process, it was still hard to believe. In the Xuanming immortal domain, such a being could lead a significant mid to upper tier faction, holding a high and rare status. Yet, this existence was slain by Jiang Chengxuan with apparent ease, an act simply beyond comprehension. Taoist Jiang. With this realization, Red Ridge Immortal and the others approached Jiang Chengxuan, their expressions somewhat reserved, and respectfully bowed to him. Jiang Chengxuan turned his gaze toward them, showing no extra emotion, and calmly nodded, saying, "Let's go. There are Earth Immortal-level insect demons in the Insect Valley that might be drawn here." This statement startled Red Ridge Immortal and the others, causing their hearts to tighten. They had researched the legends of the Insect Valley beforehand, and knew it was said to house Earth Immortal-level beings. At this moment, Jiang Chengxuan was gradually sensing a hint of danger in the air. Undoubtedly, this meant that the Earth Immortal-level insect demons had noticed the disturbance. "All right, let's move." Without hesitation, everyone erupted with immortal power, transforming into streaks of light and soaring away. This time, despite the restless and roaring insect demon army, they dared not pursue. Why? Because the corpse of the demon spider immortal lay before them, an invisible deterrent that shook their very instincts. Throughout the journey, Jiang Chengxuan and his companions remained on high alert, releasing overwhelming auras and immense pressure to kill any insect demons in their path. Finally, they traversed the last stretch of the valley and arrived at the narrowing terrain, where familiar greenery and wilderness unfolded. The female cultivator from Fengtian Immortal Sect exclaimed with joy, "We're out!" Her pretty face beamed with excitement as she shouted. Seeing the entrance to the insect valley they had entered through, everyone's faces lit up with joy, their eyes sparkling. The perils they had faced seemed to be ending at last. This expedition had turned out to be far more dangerous than they had initially anticipated. If it weren't for the unexpected presence of Jiang Chengxuan, the outcome would have been total annihilation. Even with Jiang Chengxuan, a true immortal had perished. Just as everyone was rejoicing, Jiang Chengxuan suddenly felt a ripple of unease in his heart and turned sharply to look back. Boom! The sky resounded with a deafening roar. An unseen force traversed thousands of miles of void, hurtling towards them at lightning speed. Its terrifying power distorted the sky behind them, shattering the void and causing the entire insect valley to tremble. "What is that?" "Hiss!" Red Ridge Immortal and the others reacted, gasping in shock. The scene seemed like a fantasy, sudden and without warning, but the ominous premonition of death told them that this exaggerated phenomenon was all too real. An Earth Immortal-level insect demon had made its move. Realizing this, everyone's earlier joy vanished, replaced by a chilling dread. Yet the overwhelming power continued unabated, arriving in an instant. The cliffs around them shattered and disintegrated into countless fragments. In this critical moment, only Jiang Chengxuan reacted, his eyes narrowing as his immortal power erupted. Manifesting the five elements Tao, life and death Tao, and reincarnation Tao, he forcefully severed the spiritual pressure of the terrifying attack. Amidst the dazzling Teichu light, Jiang Chengxuan raised his right hand, summoning the Teichu water fire sword once more. Instantly, the powers of Teichu water and fire displayed their overwhelming might. Like a star exploding, Jiang Chengxuan's Teichu water fire sword forced open a space within the crushing force. The intertwining powers of Teichu water and fire were unleashed with a mighty slash, piercing through the invisible force, creating a rift in the void. Boom, boom, boom. The endless sound of explosions echoed. Red Ridge Immortal and the others could only use their immortal power to form protective barriers, shielding themselves from the aftermath of the clash between two Earth Immortal-level powers. Since becoming true immortals, this was the first time they felt so powerless, like a leaf in a storm, helplessly tossed by terrifying waves. This clash shook the entire immortal insect valley. When the boundless power of Teichu and the invisible force finally dissipated, a massive fissure appeared within the valley. At the entrance of the valley, mountains had collapsed, the terrain obliterated, transforming what was once a valley into a bottomless abyss. A vast expanse of void churned within, showcasing the extent of the devastation it had endured. Yet, amidst this desolation, Jiang Chengxuan and his companions were nowhere to be seen. Boom, boom, boom. Accompanied by thunderous roars, a colossal figure twisted through the rift in the void of the immortal insect valley. This figure, 10 times larger than the demon spider immortal, was hidden within the void, causing countless insect demons to bow and cower. Its appearance caused the valley's very laws of nature to tremble and boil. Roar! However, the target it sought had already left. Bound by certain constraints, it could not leave the immortal insect valley. Even such a fearsome existence could only roar in frustration before departing. The valley trembled once more due to its rage. At this moment, in a dense forest outside the immortal insect valley, a spatial gate gradually materialized, shimmering with silver energy. From within, figures stepped out, their faces filled with lingering fear. Hugh! What a terrifying aura! We owe our lives to Taoist Jiang's intervention. These people, needless to say, were Jiang Chengxuan, Red Ridge Immortal, and their companions. When faced with the obstruction of the Earth Immortal-level insect demon, Jiang Chengxuan had used the power of Teichu Water Fire to neutralize the attack. Without hesitation, he then utilized his mastery of spatial manipulation to teleport everyone outside the valley. Once again, Jiang Chengxuan had single-handedly turned the tide, saving everyone's lives. Thank you, Taoist Jiang. Thank you, Taoist Jiang. Even the typically aloof Heavenly Clear Immortal and the previously contentious Thick Earth Immortal Elder expressed their gratitude to Jiang Chengxuan after this ordeal. Absolute power commanded absolute respect. Witnessing Jiang Chengxuan's true strength, they now regarded him as a venerable elder. It's nothing. Since we are a team, we naturally help each other, Jiang Chengxuan replied with a calm smile, undisturbed by praise. Although he had his own motives for this expedition, he never intended to use his companions as mere pawns. He was not the type of cultivator who resorted to such cruel methods. Hearing this, the others showed expressions of gratitude and admiration for Jiang Chengxuan. Sai, it seems we should avoid these forbidden lands in the future. Indeed, opportunities are valuable, but one must survive to enjoy them. Holding the fragments of the primal sky pillar, Red Ridge Immortal and Heavenly Clear Immortal sighed in agreement. Despite the perilous journey, they had ultimately acquired the primal sky pillar. Though some immortal treasures were lost, the gain was still worthwhile. Only the Thick Earth Immortal Elder appeared mournful, for the primal sky pillar, while precious, was not worth the life of a true immortal. Taoist Jiang, Taoist Shen, we must take our leave now. Sister Shen, until we meet again. Taoist Jiang, farewell and thank you. Several days later, in a secluded area outside the immortal insect valley, the group, having rested and recovered, prepared to leave. Before Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan stood Red Ridge Immortal and the female cultivator from Fengtian Immortal sect, expressing their gratitude with gentle words. Heavenly Clear Immortal also bid farewell solemnly. The Thick Earth Immortal Elder had already left earlier to report the news of his fellow elders' demise to their sect. Safe travels, everyone, Jiang Chengxuan said with a calm farewell gesture, and Shen Ruyan smiled and bid them goodbye. Soon, the trio of Red Ridge Immortal transformed into streaks of light and flew into the distance. As the mountain breeze blew, only Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan remained. Husband, about the 5 elements immortal stone, Shen Ruyan asked softly after the others had departed. Despite acquiring the primal sky pillar, they had yet to find the 5 elements immortal stone they sought. Don't worry, my dear, I have made preparations. We should soon discover its location, Jiang Chengxuan replied confidently with a smile. No sooner had he spoken than he sensed a subtle disturbance. With a joyful expression, he activated his immortal power. Before Shen Ruyan's curious eyes, a ripple formed in the void, revealing the figure of a wolf-like creature, Jiang Chengxuan's spatial puppet from the ancient relic. This is... Seeing this, Shen Ruyan's eyes brightened with realization. Jiang Chengxuan retrieved the spatial puppet, and a mysterious light emerged from its body, entering his brow. Heh, just as I thought, Jiang Chengxuan chuckled, seeing the images in his mind, scenes from within the immortal insect valley. The final image was of an unremarkable large black stone sitting in a deep pool. Only the surface cracks hinted at its extraordinary nature, as it emitted pure 5 elements divine light. There was no doubt it was the 5 elements immortal stone. During their previous battle with the golden cicada demon immortal, Jiang Chengxuan had left the spatial puppet in the valley to search for the stone. Their escape and the ensuing chaos had drawn the attention of countless insect demons, allowing the stealthy puppet to explore without hindrance. Over several days, the puppet had fulfilled its mission, bringing back crucial information about the 5 elements immortal stone. Wonderful, husband, your foresight is truly remarkable, Shen Ruyan exclaimed, now understanding everything. Let's go, dear. The insect valley is currently lax. We'll get the stone and leave quickly, Jiang Chengxuan said, smiling as he took Shen Ruyan's hand. they transformed into shadows and re-entered the valley. With the valley recovering from the previous onslaught, the insect demons believed the intruders had left for good, unaware that Jiang Chengxuan's true target remained within. Using the intelligence gathered from their previous incursion, Jiang Chengxuan mapped a covert route. Utilizing his spatial mastery, he and Shen Ruyan moved almost unhindered, delving deep into the valley and reaching the subterranean world once more. Guided by the spatial puppet's information, they soon found themselves before an unremarkable deep pool. This deep pool was located in a remote and secluded part of the immortal insect valley, even deeper than the lair of the golden cicada demon Immortal. It was a calm, unremarkable place, quietly settled in the underground, with occasional water droplets creating ripples on the surface. The five elements immortal stone is a primordial object of the world. Whether it is born or perishes, it will not cause any disturbances but will quickly merge into its surroundings, Jiang Chengxuan murmured as he gazed at the tranquil pool, his eyes filled with fervor. Even a random boulder by the roadside could be the five elements immortal stone, making it extremely difficult to find. Shen Ruyan, standing beside him, chuckled and remarked, "The Wanbao Immortal Association was indeed sincere." Yang Chengxuan smiled and shook his head. "It's all about mutual benefit." This entire ordeal had been perilous, requiring special means to enter the immortal insect valley and obtain the five elements immortal stone. Even an earth immortal could not accomplish it alone, for the valley housed earth immortal-level insect demons that would react to the presence of such a powerful intruder, triggering a deadly confrontation. For this task, Jiang Chengxuan was the most suitable candidate among the true immortals, possessing extraordinary concealment abilities, a myriad of enigmatic techniques, and formidable combat prowess. "Let's go, my dear," Jiang Chengxuan said, taking Shen Ruyan's hand as they transformed into a gentle breeze, creating ripples on the lake's surface as they descended into the depths. Underwater, the light from above created a beautiful, shimmering scene, which gradually darkened as they descended, feeling almost like entering the underworld. Wisps of Tao energy filled the surroundings, emanating an extremely mysterious sensation. In response, Jiang Chengxuan manifested his five elements Tao, enveloping the two of them in a bubble of multicolored divine light gradually sinking deeper. As they descended, their expectant eyes spotted an ancient, smooth boulder embedded in the earth, as if it had existed for eternity. Water flowed over its surface, leaving behind intricate, profound marks. The small cracks in its exterior revealed flashes of extraordinary energy, indicating its true nature. "The five elements immortal stone is indeed here." Jiang Chengxuan placed his hand on the stone, whispering with joy. Many had failed to reach the earth immortal realm due to the lack of this opportunity. Knowing the secret of the earth immortal limit made the five elements immortal stone even more precious. Its appearance signified the fall of a powerful being, offering a glimpse into a grand, magnificent world. Buzz. As if responding to Jiang Chengxuan's emotions, the five elements immortal stone emitted a mystical pulse. Pure, radiant divine light burst from the cracks, enveloping the entire underwater cavern in a dazzling display, transforming it into a world of flowing brilliance. In this moment, both Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan felt an aura akin to primordial energy, infusing their bodies and spirits with a gentle, invigorating power. "My bottleneck is loosening," Shen Ruyan exclaimed, sensing movement in her cultivation at the peak of the Ascension realm. "This is perfect. Once we return, we can enter seclusion together and break through," Jiang Chengxuan said, his eyes shining with joy. Without further hesitation, he activated his immortal power, enveloping the five elements immortal stone. Layers of potent energy isolated its aura, creating a small world to contain the stone. The radiant light and mystical scenery faded, returning to calm. Only Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan's hearts continued to pound with excitement over this invaluable opportunity. Subduing the golden cicada demon immortal. With the five elements immortal stone secured, Jiang Chengxuan and Shen Ruyan prepared to leave the immortal insect valley. As they made their way out, they suddenly felt a powerful presence approaching. It was the golden cicada demon immortal, drawn by the disturbance. "Jiang Chengxuan, you dare steal from me," the demon's voice echoed, filled with fury. Jiang Chengxuan turned to face the approaching demon. "Today, I will subdue you and take what is rightfully mine." A fierce battle erupted, with Jiang Chengxuan wielding the Teichu water-fire sword, its ethereal glow illuminating the dark underground. The golden cicada demon immortal, already weakened from previous battles, struggled to match Jiang Chengxuan's power. As the clash intensified, Jiang Chengxuan found an opening. Channeling the power of the five elements and the Teichu sword, he unleashed a devastating attack, severing the demon's resistance and forcing it into submission. "Submit to me or face annihilation," Jiang Chengxuan declared, his voice resonating with authority. The golden cicada demon immortal, recognizing its defeat, bowed its head in submission. "I submit." With the demon subdued, Jiang Chengxuan turned to Shen Ruyan, a triumphant smile on his face. "We have secured both the five elements immortal stone and a powerful ally." "Indeed, my husband, this day marks a significant victory," Shen Ruyan replied, her eyes shining with admiration. Together, they left the immortal insect valley, their hearts filled with anticipation for the breakthroughs to come and the new horizons awaiting them.